Nate Bargatze, Dana, is a great stand-up, just climbing up very fast. Not quite a household name, but very close. He's selling out all over the place and killing it.
Unbelievable. So here we are. This is kind of a cool episode for us because Nate just did Saturday Night Live, crushed it. And we're getting him a couple of days later. So I bet he's still kind of flying from the experience. That would be normal. So we get to check in with him on all that stuff. It's really fun.
Check his pulse, check his step counter.
Yeah. Was there regret? I mean, when you hosted, I remember you'd call me and I would just hear whimpering. And I said, David, you did fine. You crushed it.
And then I go, did you see it? And you go, no, but I heard.
You did
Probably.
Mango. But we'll get into that. You did Mango and that's when you you had like a mini skirt on or something. That's when you had high heels and.
Yes.
Anyway, but Nate Bargatze's here. I would listen to this if I were you. And I'm talking to you, David.
I'd listen to it mostly even just to hear me.
No, Nate's a really nice guy. We had a great time talking to him.
Yeah, maybe he'll be a prick on this, change things up.
You know, Dana, I was gonna say, every time I do a corporate, I think I follow you. Big when you do, because there's the amount of people doing corporates. There's like 5 of us that are doing them.
Well, it's your time now, but you know what? There's a lot of tricks I use. You know, I read their website, I get their vernacular, and I pretend that I'm an expert, whether it's a tech company or anything. I'm there actually. Gets them on my side, but they can be chilly, right? I mean, even you, who's got one of the best acts out there right now, for sure. I mean, is it tough for you to do corporate, or you're pretty much?
I do. I mean, I just do what I'm doing, my act, being clean. Yeah. So, but they can be. It's really just matters the setup. It's the setup, how you're introduced, and they're not as when you get to a level where they can be. It's like the stage is nice, and some places they can be really good. But then some can be they're far away from you, or they can't hear you, or
can't hear you. Or I was recently played corporate in Hawaii, and it was like at 10:30 at night, driving wind outdoors on a little tiny stage, and there was like 20 of them scattered, a lot of empty seats, kind of hung over and looking at me. So I brought the CEO out of the audience just to riff with him because when I see someone like you or Jerry Seinfeld or David Spade, who has just this great material, I'm up there dancing for my money, I just want to ask you this question because I was curious about that. So you've got your tour and all your stand-up dates. And so, you're home, you're resting. And then someone calls and says, there's this corporate date. And you're like, well, I just got off the road. I don't want to do it. And then they come back with more and more and more. And eventually it gets to a cartoon number where you feel like you have to go. Or is that, or are you in the place where like, okay, I'm off. I don't care who calls.
You would, I mean, I'm on the road, but it's like next year in the fall, I'm taking off next
year.
24. Yeah.
I mean, that's like a year from now.
Yeah. The tour goes all the way to June or July.
Yeah. I got to tape another special. And then I'll tape a special. Then I'll be off from like next fall to whatever, May, some of 25 and then do another one.
I looked at your site. I saw your dates and it was interesting that you, like Brian Regan before you're clean, really clean. And hilarious. So you could do an afternoon show and you could do a second show. But what I was curious about is like your monologue on SNL. Can that be in your next special, or is that in your mind you can't use it?
No, I think I will. I mean, it's in my act now. With SNL thing, I mean, I got to go. I'm going to Peoria Wednesday and then Chicago. So and so I'll be doing it. I have other stuff surrounding that. So it'll be, I was worried about it. Like, all right, is it going to be burnt? Like if it depends on how it does too. If it got so crazy, but I mean, I think people want to see that stuff live and it's all attached to a bigger chunk. So I kind of got over, at first I was worried about it. Then I kind of got over it. Just thinking like it was going to be burnt and be like, it's like doing a late night set where you're like, here's just a taste of what my hour is.
I get people give me flack sometimes like, oh, that was all new stuff. I mean, I saw some of it on Ellen and I'm like, well, some of these bits are like fatter because you do a talk show, you're just coming up with it that week, you're just throwing something together and then you stumble into something you like and then you make it into a bigger chunk and it gets better and sharper. But most people don't mind hearing some stuff you've done before because that's part of the fun. And I think one problem with some comics is they go on and they go special tour, and the specials get a little softer because there's almost no way to grind it out that fast to make it that good. Like you're like, where's my whole bit? Where's my bit about this? Where's my tried and true killers? Do I have that on this hour? I feel that way sometimes. I'm like, fuck, I miss some of those ones that would just key rush,
Yeah. It's like I think I do a special probably every 2 years, or I have been. This last one I had to build up really fast, and everything's been kind of going so fast. So it's been, but that's why I'm gonna take off next. I need to live as normal of a life as I can to come up with material. Like you just gotta. That's why you have so much material when you first start because you're not as busy, so you're doing regular stuff,
and then you get your bits. Yeah,
and
that's true. All your bits are about being on the road.
That's why it's airplanes.
Airplanes flying,
and about the money gun he takes when he sprays it like he's Travis Scott in a strip club. He's like, that's what he does. That's how you should open now. If you have so much money, just spray. Just like you have one of your openers, just go buy hundreds from the bank, and then you reload it. And you come out with a wheelbarrow.
This what fit in our bus, so we got to get rid of some of it.
Yeah, it's heavy. The money in your bus is making it so heavy you have to get rid of something.
Well, yeah, I mean it's always a curiosity. I'm a celebrity net worth guy, so I'm always fascinated by people like you. For the first time, I mean, I saw 2017. You did a half-hour special. You're growing. You're doing these specials. You're getting bigger, bigger, bigger. So where are you now on the surreality of this coming off of SNL? It just seems like the last 5 years was the big, you're famous, you're doing great, but then it just went whoosh, right? I mean, bigger rooms. When did it start? When did you want me to play what? And how many seats?
It was after the stand-ups, the half hour on Netflix. That was like when I started like clubs and people were kind of coming out and I knew they knew me. So, but I was like starting to sell out clubs and that was kind of moving forward. Then after the Tennessee Kid was we were kind of out of clubs, kind of moving to theaters and going in that direction. And then, when you're in a theater, you kind of know that everybody's there to see it because it's usually, I mean.
It's more of it's not just people going to that club every week.
Yeah. So it's like once the Tennessee Kid, like that happened, then The Greatest Average American, like COVID, that was during COVID. And so
outdoors.
I did the outdoor.
Oh, I remember that one.
I did the drive-in theaters and, and the outdoor one, I mean, that helped just putting a special out during that time, I think was a giant thing because so many people watched it and started this podcast that I do. And so it's like I just kind of kept as busy as you could be under the circumstances. This is the most I ever worked was COVID. I got just only indoors.
But you can't tour on that special, unfortunately. Like you can't jump on it. Like I did the wrong Missy, and it was like I celebrated in my own house eating a pot pie because I couldn't leave. They go, "Your movie's #1 in the world." I'm like, "Great! There's nothing. I can't even go to a restaurant and have dinner."
We were wide open, so we celebrated.
Oh yeah, I'm in stupid California. We're still on lockdown, dude. I'm not supposed to do podcasts.
Yeah, that's how I do it all Zoom.
I have to report to the governor if I leave my room.
Right now, I have no script. I'm just full transparency right now. I am not acting from a script. I'm making up everything I say in real time. If SAG is listening.
Oh, if SAG is listening, that's right.
If SAG is listening. I'm not. We are not on a script. No matter how witty and fun this podcast has been so far, listeners, we are not. This is not.
Yeah,
written.
everything I say
improvised.
sounds like it's written by professional comedy writers, but I'm not. I'm just talking.
It's all tight.
Mhm.
So I'm just curious because you're like so unflappable on stage. Everyone says that, right? And it's so comfortable to watch you because you never seem to. You're just telling a story, and then you have so many laugh points stacking and stacking. But internally, having this happen to you, it's just 5-6 years, and your marriage and your friends and your sister Abigail, who we met and stuff. I mean, do you have a nervous place because now you're coming out like, ladies and gentlemen, Nate, you know, because I feel pressure. There was a point where I'm going to a club to work out material. Get ready to fasten your laugh safety belts. He's bringing it tonight. You know, it's like, do you feel pressure at all, or you just feel joy, or or are you numb?
No, you do. You feel like you got to live up to the expectations that they have when they come. I don't want to fall off. Like, I don't want to be doing shows and and my jokes are good for my crowd. And then, you know, because I think that's when it kind of starts going away, is like if you don't realize it and then you're just doing jokes that like are for your audience, they laugh at it because they love you, but you're never gonna, you know, you're not a great
You
of a
need new
comic.
customers.
Yeah. You want to, that's why, I mean, SNL, that's why this was such a big kind of thing, because I was going in front of an audience that is you know, it's like
Not there to see you.
They're not there to see me. And most people, when I got picked to host, most people are like, no one knows who I am.
Yeah, a lot of people were mad. Yeah.
Yeah, people are upset. They're like, who does this guy think he is?
I was just in a bad mood for a couple days. I don't know. It's nothing personal. No, but what?
I was at Chili's and people were pissed. They were just talking about it at the table next to me.
Who is this Nate Bargatze?
What the fuck is going on?
I just want to know about the phone call. Was it a slow build, or did it hit you like, really? I mean,
I knew they came to a show in or I knew I was like on the radar. Like, and my agents told me, and I mean, this was probably a few months ago. I would say it's this year. Cause it was, I would say it was this year. And so I knew it was like I was on the radar somewhat, maybe this summer actually. And then, you know, didn't think much about it. And then my agent or manager, they say like, you know, they're like, you know, or jinx it, but I mean, you might be able to do it. And I knew after that, Lauren, you know, because we met Lauren at Mulaney's birthday party. I met him there for the first time. With Spade. And Lauren didn't, you know, I shook his hand, but he didn't talk to me or say like, oh, hey, like I knew he didn't watch my special up at that point. And then after that is when he watched the last special, Hello World. And then, so I knew he liked that special. And then that's when I kind of heard maybe October 28th was going to be the date. And so it was like kind of getting real, but then it was like, well, maybe not. And so then it was like, you know, it's just kind of one of those, you're like, maybe I'll do it.
At dinner, Lauren pulled me aside and he goes, David, who's the guy eating the lasagna? And I go, oh, that's Nate. And he goes, the way he twists his fork, I bet he could host. I think he's got that certain something.
That's Lauren. He's unflappable when you meet him, and he checks in with former cast members. I got the call. Do you think he has what it takes? I think so. I think it's a good move. I think it's a change up, a new host. I'll think about it.
Were you scared about the sketches, or you weren't that worried about
it? Yeah, no, I was. And they were, you know, I mean, I hit you up. I was like trying to ask everybody. It's like, I didn't know the cue cards and, you know, I mean, you realize like being on TV, I'm not on TV, you know, it's like, I'm not on TV. I'm on, I do a special, and you got like where the light's on to be like, well, that camera's on, all this kind of stuff that,
well, you control your whole special too. You get to pick and choose how it is, what do you look like, what you wear. Yeah. So it was, you know, that kind of stuff. I mean, I was excited. I was very excited. The whole week I was very excited. I got very nervous during dress rehearsal. Not dress rehearsal, the run through on Saturday with no audience.
That one I was like
Mhm.
kind of, because I remember like looking. I mean, we did the Washington sketch when we ran it the first time. I mean, dude, I'm looking the opposite of every camera on the planet. I mean,
course.
I don't even know what lights are. You know, I don't know how to know which one's on.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm just like following the wrong, the wrong thing.
Do you wear your wig in the daytime? I can't remember, Dana. You wear all your
Yeah,
shit
they
in the
would
daytime?
they would at least put them halfway on, probably.
Just to get a
everyone
feel
was
for
in
timing
somewhat
and
of a
stuff?
costume.
Yeah.
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 During the afternoon, and you're
It's a
just
fucking
walking through
pain in the
sketches, and
ass.
it's getting real for the first time.
That was what the most, I was so nervous then because you still don't have an audience. And you're just like, you're kind of in it. We're changing the blocking a little bit. That sketch was probably going to get cut, to be honest. Because leading up to it, like when you're doing the script, table reads and all that stuff, I'm just reading this stuff. I'm not like all into it. Like I feel dumb. Like I'm not used to doing this. I want an audience to perform for.
Mhm.
And so I'm kind of just like, doing it. And I mean, the George Washington sketch was it was the last sketch we did for dress rehearsal. It was the last one, and we just figured a bit. But then once we did it live, I like got way into more my time. I was kind of rushed leading up to it with no audience because there's no there's nothing to really. I'm so used
There's
to
a couple
performing.
crew laughs.
Yeah, there's a couple crew laughs, and I'm used to doing stand-up, so I'm used to like my timing is based off the laughs.
Yeah.
And so when there's not, when you're just in there with each other, I don't fake it great. And
Well,
so
everyone feels that way. I mean, you lose confidence, and then. But what happened in the practice show, the dress show? Like that compared to the air show. The air show was still, you felt like, was the peak of how you performed it.
Yeah, I would say they were both basically the same. Before the dress rehearsal with the audience, before an audience got there, I was very quick on everything. My timing was very fast. Higgins was like helping me with that. Like I was just very like kind of just, I would say it. I wouldn't be so much into it. Yeah. And then during dress rehearsal, it's last. We assume. I mean, I found this afterwards, but I think they assume it's going to get cut. And then I just set in my rhythm, and I was able to pace, and I would kind of let the laugh calm down. Then I would deliver the line. And that just helped it so much. The chef show was even better too, because of the live audience.
Yeah, it's a lot of timing. I thought they did a good job writing for your style, so to speak.
They did.
But you landed it so hard, especially in the Washington one, where your timing, your pausing, there was a charisma to it. It was an interesting, because when I first started watching it, I had no idea how hard it was going to kill, but it just like popped.
You had a good crowd too. Not to say you weren't good, but sometimes you get crowds there and you see people that are doing great stuff, and you're like, you know what I mean? You just do not want to be on one of those nights where they're just not. Dana, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, sometimes you just get a dead audience. I think Halloween shows tend to be slightly more festive. And I think having Christopher Walken show up in the beginning jacked everyone up. Yeah. And then your monologue, sometimes is not so good, and you're killed. So then the audience is really happy. They got to see Walken. They're relaxed with you. They're happy to see you. And then there you go.
Let me jump in, Dana. Nate, I have to say, when I watch a stand-up over the years, you have, which is kind of unique to not every comic, your crowd is very good and disciplined. They definitely, when I watch even mostly, TikTok, and I see that stuff on Instagram, it's like one bit at a time, but they laugh at all the setups. They're quiet. They listen to everything. They know there's some gold on the way. And then you're sort of, the payoffs are like almost one or two, and then you get out. But I was jealous sometimes, because if I take a pause, sometimes I'm on the road, they start yelling Joe Dirt shit. They start, they get rowdy, especially the bigger crowds, and you have bigger crowds and the thousands of people. It's hard to keep them all shut up, and they're really into it. And I think that's great that you have that crowd. And it seemed like that was on SNL. They would let you pause. They'll let you do your style. They'll hang on it, and then they appreciate the throwaway jokes on the way, which is great.
I mean, I think, I don't really ever talk to the crowd. I don't know crowd work. And so doing that stuff, like, and never have done it, and I don't have videos of me doing it, that helps because then no one, it doesn't look like
Oh,
that's
you
what I
don't
do.
push. Yeah, people don't go, oh, this guy likes. That's what's ruining stand-up is all these people posting stuff with crowd work. And then they go, oh, so they like it when you get involved. Like, no, they just don't want to show their real act on TikTok. So they're just making up bullshit just to get you in the club to see their real act. But people think, oh, they like it when I interject at the punchline.
They think that's the show. And so then, when they see that stuff, it's not like you train your audience. It's just they're seeing what they see and they go, oh, that's what this guy does. He does this and he does an act or not an act. So they were able to, I mean, I was like, I had a couple applause breaks, I think, during it where I was trying to, like, one towards the end, the Pearl Harbor joke, and I knew would get a laugh, where I say every history movie I watch on the edge of my seat. What is going to happen now? And sometimes that can get an applause, but I have like the last line. So I was like, that one I was trying to stay on top of a little bit just to, I didn't want to, do a whole applause. It's like they kind of clapped and I kind of just like, was like, kind of like, all right, just hold on one second. Like, just let me get this last thing out. Cause it was like, I wanted to end on that last, sometimes when you can almost have two good jokes at the end. Yeah. And you're like, all right, if the first one does great, I don't really care if I do the
just
second
bail.
one.
Yeah, just bail.
But this one I knew, I was like, well, I want to do it. So I was trying to kind of stay on them. So I didn't go to a completely flat. I didn't want to go all the way flat again to go back up.
What about, I thought you'd get out of the reading joke because it was so funny. I'm like, that was such a great run.
I could have. I mean, I thought, I knew I had a couple that I could. It's that I don't know. It's like the Pearl Harbor joke was just, I just know that I've been doing that for a while. So it's like, it's just a very easy, like, I know it's going to work and it's like short and it's like, I can just say it and then boom. And
you followed a good joke with a good joke, which is hard because I thought, shit, how do you follow that reading joke? And then you did another one. So that was a long monologue too. How long was it? That's, obviously it's going to be longer because it's you. How long do you think it went? Like 10?
9:25, I think they told me. Because I kept asking. I was 10:05 at dress rehearsal, and then I changed some stuff up, and I added the hotel shower thing.
Yeah.
I did not do in dress rehearsal, and I added it, and I took out. Well, I think it just set up the 1900 thing a little bit better. And I mean, I've been doing all this stuff on the road. I mean, the hardest part was the beginning of the week, having to change. I haven't done a short set like that in a long time. Mm-hmm. And so when you're used to doing an hour, it's like your rhythm is longer and all this stuff. So then I had to kind of come back and I did a bunch of spots to get back into that New York short set rhythm.
Tight, that fucking tight 10, and it's the most valuable 10 you got to do. When I did it, Dana, Nate, you can listen to this too, but when I did it, when I hosted the first time, Sandler was in my opening monologue just because it was like, oh, he's there. Let's just use him because it's funny. And he was going to be asking questions. Question monologues are usually pretty easy. They do it with hosts that have no skills. I guess that's why I did it. But I could have done a stand-up one, but it was me and Sandler going at it. He was playing this nerdy guy, kept asking me questions to trip me up. Oh, yeah, it's one more question real quick. And so the day of the show, I'm obviously nervous. And they said, Adam, he had to fly back because he's doing Waterboy open this weekend at Crush. He's got to go back and do something back in LA. And I'm like, oh, fuck, what's my monologue? And I go, and Lauren goes, just do stand-up. And I'm like, well, yeah, I don't even do stand-up that much. And I can't practice at all. So I did, I think 2 long bits together, right? They were kind of long ones, but that was it. When Martin Lawrence, and it worked out, but it was scary to never practice. That was one point. And then I don't know if Dana was there for Martin Lawrence, but he did a monologue. I was asking your time because I think in rehearsal it was 5 and on air it was 12.
Oh, wow.
And, shit's getting thrown out. They're like, you're walking the hallway and here, Gap Girls is cut. And you're like, after the monologue? Because usually in the middle of the show, you're getting like 20 minutes to 1 and you're like, fuck, if this audience is this good, it's going to spread. And then we're not going to have time for a final sketch in the early 86. But he went so long, we were all like, oh my God. I think it was Mark Lawrence, right? Yeah. And but that's fun. Anyway, you had a great monologue. I didn't mean to interrupt that. Great monologue, quick change. That Hallmark movie about killers, was that earlier in the show, later in the show? Because it was pretty early for a pre-tape.
Yeah, it was. They moved it. Yeah, so like when I did it, because that's the thing, we were like 9 minutes over. He was saying, so like it's crazy. Like Lauren, you go up and like you're in there in the meetings, like on deciding the show, and the whole time I'm there, I'm like, I want to be like, hey, I've not done like if they look at me, I'm like, you're like you're scared to say something. You don't realize like you actually can say the Washington sketch. I think I said I liked it, and Lauren knew I liked it because it basically was all me. And I was like, I knew like, oh, I'll be able to get into this. But it was, you don't realize like how much you say you kind of do. I mean, obviously it's their decision, but so some of you are just sitting there and they go, and I was like, I'll cut some of my monologue. But he didn't want to. He was like, no, because he knew I was being introduced to so many people that it's like
people are tuning in for that too. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was at 10 minutes there, and then I got it down to 9. It was 9:25 when we taped, which made me happy because I was afraid. I didn't want to like just blow up the whole show. I get off and someone's like, you did 16 minutes and then 5 sketches.
There's no light, right? You don't get a light.
Oh, there's nothing. It's just
what
the
does
show.
your cue card look like when you're doing your monologue?
I just had bullet points. No,
you did have bullet points.
I had bullet points. I just had like a set list, and I just wrote the set list, and just because it's like I'm doing like these jokes are in so many different places in my act.
Right. Oh, you're jumping around. It's not normal.
It's not. Yeah, it's not a normal way. So I had them. I just wrote out, but we changed. We had the thing listed, and then I rewrote a set list for the taping show. I was going to lose the Afrin joke, but then Lauren was like, "No, I like the Afrin joke." And then he goes, "I think you should do it."
You go, "I'm going to lose it," and he goes,
"Yeah,
I'll put it back in.
I'll do it." Yeah, I go, "Yeah, I'll do whatever you want me to." Yeah,
I see the cue card guy Wally is like drenched in sweat. He's got this 19-minute monologue.
He did. Wally had to hold up 2 cards. Because it was 16, like I had like 16 lines, and I just didn't want to get lost up there.
Was there anything more terrifying in stand-up than that stand-up, or was it like one of your big gigs at Bridgestone, or something? Was there anything was that more casual?
No, this one was the most, because I've done it now for 20 years, so like you're at least doing something the most. But it's like it's not, I did. Like, not to say, I just did some arena. Like, I just came off of, I went from Oklahoma City where the Thunder play, and I was in that arena Sunday to Saturday Night Live. So like, when you're in those big arenas, you're just murdering, and it's just like you're just in this big kind of like flowing and all this. So then when you go switch it to this, you're like, dude, am I bombing? Like you can't sometimes, when I felt it. You got to look at the camera.
No one's going to tell you. I'm your friend. I'm telling you.
It's about 150. Is it 200 people in there?
Yeah, 200 people.
Yeah. It's pretty microscopic when you walk in.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a big room. It would be a room that you'd be like completely fine with, except that it's, you can see yourself on the monitor, and I'm just seeing
that's gross.
Well, I'm seeing Saturday Night Live, like the most famous backdrop ever behind me, and I'm standing there, and you're kind of like,
you start to lose your place.
Yeah, you're like, what is this, dude? Like,
you don't want the band not to laugh at you. The band was laughing.
That's good.
How did you like? They're fixing your hair or whatever, and then you just come out when the music plays. It's and then you're walking down to your spot. And then you got your first laugh, because that is sort of. It's just nerve-wracking. And I've been on the show for 7 years, but hosting it and them, and you get launched, it's just weird.
You go, they tell you to hit the mark. He's like, make sure you hit the mark. They kept saying that. And you're like, usually it's like, here's the mark. It's like, fine. And they're like, make sure you hit this mark.
It's not even that big a deal.
And then he goes, you just say, thank you very much when the guy does he does like that behind the camera. and then you go, all right, and then they hand me the microphone, and then I start my set, and then you're thinking about too when I get done. When I get done, I got to be like, all right, I got to throw a shot. I've never done like a "we'll be right back." Stay tuned.
You're used to taking 100 bows. Did you carry a mic, or was that a discussion?
They handed it to me.
I mean, but did you say I could do without a mic? You'd rather use?
No. I said I want a mic.
And then for people who are listening, right, as soon as you finish the monologue, you can't celebrate the monologue where
you got to run.
The show's launch. You have a team of maybe 2 or 3 people, someone dressing, makeup, hair. They're going to grab you.
Wardrobe,
and take you along, and they become kind of your confidants throughout the week. They're like on your team. They're giving you a quick feedback. That was great, but now let's go here. And
I mean, it's like, Donna, like, and Jerry, and like that was the craziest thing, because you get off and they grab you and you're just running to just like go change. It's almost like if you got done with a set on stage and then someone just threw you in a car alone and you drove away. And you're like, was it good? I don't know. You have no
kidnapped
idea.
And put in a gunny sack and thrown in a trunk. Like, you'd have no time to analyze it.
Was your suit made of? Were you wearing I saw what you were wearing. It was like a coat. Was it made anything Velcro there, or is it
not on my
monologue?
Stuff? My monologue was not Velcro, but a lot of the other stuff was Velcro. And so but I mean, I got off, and you go there, and we did the chef show first, and so we changed into that. Was the Hallmark thing first? It wasn't first.
No, I think it was after Chef Show.
After Chef Show.
Yeah, because we had to get into Washington,
Chef Show?
and that was
so. That's why they put Hallmark there, probably. So you'd have more time to go.
Oh yeah, that does buy time to get you in a wig or whatever.
So in the Chef Show, your first sketch, you're feeling like 100% better, probably once you got on there.
I mean, the dress rehearsal is so nice, because once you do that, you're like, okay. And then it's
very realistic.
And they cut a few sketches that you were in. We don't know those yet, but so it's a little truncated as well.
Yes. And you do it. And I felt good with Washington when I didn't realize how it goes, but when everybody was like, man, Washington got moved up a lot. So I don't understand it at the moment, but it's like, oh, so that did really good.
They want to front load the better stuff.
Yes. So you feel like, all right, I have some confidence now. I've done it. I've said these lines. I'm kind of getting the cue card thing a little bit, where you're like, all right, because you're not supposed to. I'm not trying to like just look like I'm like staring at it, like reading,
like walking.
Because
walking always does that, but it works for him.
Unapologetically hilarious.
Yes. The Washington was pretty clever, because I saw some of the staging. You could see you got a card to your left and a card to your right and a center card, right?
Yeah.
And then you kind of pick your spot. So by the time you got on air, I thought it worked great.
It was. I was borderline getting a little too arrogant, like switching cards, where I would be like in the middle of it. But the way the timing worked, I would like, I could read half this here, and then I'd be like, it'd be good if I go there. By the way, I don't know what camera is on. I'm not even. I have even when they'll
find you. That's what you just hope. You go fucking. Someone film me.
Yeah, because I didn't. Higgins was like, just look out, like because it's Washington kind of talking outwardly. Yeah. So like if I ever got lost, I would just kind of go out.
You know what's funny, Nate? I'd see you, and I've done this. You go from the left cue card to the right, but if you do it during a speech or a line, it's like jumping the Snake River. To go over there and try to remember your line and then land and find the rest of your speech, it's the ballsiest maneuver. But sometimes you do it just to look real. Yeah, like you're talking instead of just drill this one, drill that one, and was like, all right. But that was a good, I like that bit because they're sort of props for you. They have a few lines, but you're basically like getting the laughs.
They stayed pretty wide. I don't think they had an ISO on you, like, neck up or anything.
Yeah.
So it stayed fairly wide.
Yeah. That was what it worked out good. I think one of my timing, the timing on one of them worked out. And it worked out kind of just because I couldn't find the car. Like you get you're like, yeah, I mean, when you're switching the middle and you go over,
crazy.
it's such a big jump that you're like, you get over there and you're like, oh man, you're like, where?
And are you black? Is the host always black, Dana?
Yeah, I'm black. But you know what's fun?
Yeah.
I'm colorblind, so the black and green. So
no, really?
in a black and green one with one of them with Heidi that ended up getting cut. I kept reading her line during the and no one really, it's not like anybody's really telling me something. Like they're kind of nice to the host.
You asshole, yeah.
And I read it, 5 times in a row. And I was like, it looked, and they just had to write Heidi next to it. Cause I was like, that for some reason that black and green looked the same to me.
Oh,
yeah.
Funny.
Well, keep going. What were your other favorite sketches that you liked?
I thought so. We had one that got cut at the beginning. That was I like the chef show was fun because I got to just play. Like that was like just me being me, which was nice, and that was an easy one for me to look at because the card's right over Punky. Yeah, so it was like easy for me to.
You'd get a laugh, then they do some business, come back, you get a laugh. That's the best way to do it. That's well written.
Yeah, Airplane was like that too.
Yeah.
In Airplane, there's one part where in Heidi, she's the mom, and she goes, "Well, I got a really important job," and then I say, "What do you do?" And she said, "I'm a mother," and so we clap, and then we say, "All right, what about real stuff?" But that one, I forgot to say, "What do you do?" And so there's a pause there because they're all waiting on me to go, "What do you do?" And I see Wally. It's so crazy to be on live on TV,
shaking the card.
No one, no one sees it. Millions of people are watching it, and just Wally's like, "Hey," he's like,
he's
drifting off. Yeah,
he's just pointing off, and I'm like, yeah. I go, so what do you do? And it's really delayed. It's like a very delayed. What do you do? Because I just was gone. I was like,
but somehow it worked. It got laughs. I mean,
it did. It did. It was. That one worked really good, and
she's great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This cast is really good. Like you see, Keenan is unbelievable. It's very comforting to be in there when Keenan's in there because you just like in her Heidi or Chloe. All of them are so great, and some are younger, but the ones that have been there for a while, Mikey, it's like they're just very, very good.
It takes a long time. If you ever. Maybe this is crazy to say. If they invited you to be part of the cast, would you do Saturday Night Live?
I would.
It's kind of silly. You're too big to be a part of the cast.
Yeah.
But would you have liked to have done it? Do you have a little taste for it now? Would you like to go back and host?
I definitely would love to go back. I loved it. I loved the whole week. And then, another one that Steve Higgins told me that I liked, he goes, he said, it's like what you thought show business would be when you get into show business. And I thought that was a very good way to describe it. It's like when you get into show business, you think it's going to be like just running around and changing and all this kind of stuff. And, most of show business is not that. And so it made me want to do, I think about sitcoms and you're like, man, I'd like to do a multicam. That live audience is so fun. Yeah. And that's what we do. I loved it. I wish I would have thought I could have done, and not that I would have ever got it, but I don't know if I never even looked at SNL as an option of being auditioning because it's like I was just doing stand up and just doing this.
Yeah, you barely do stand up, so it's
Yeah,
but it's also you're saying new stuff. Like, how do you handle the redundancy of stand up? Because all that stuff where you were probably peaking on air with it, and then you just drop it. You're not going to do George Washington's Dream again. So it's all that freshness to it that's really cool. And stand up is some nights you have to kind of pull up your socks and kind of go,
I gotta get
excited. I got to get excited. I'm getting a little past my act. Do you ever feel that sometimes? It's like, time to record it before I go past it and it's flat for me.
Yeah. You can have a joke. Yeah. Some jokes can be really good and they stop working because you just said them 100 times and you just got to be excited. And sometimes you got to just move the stuff around in your set. I always tend to, you can move stuff up front that you are excited about, or you can move some stuff at the end. So you almost leave yourself a little carrot to be like, well, I'm excited about this chunk.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put it towards the back. So I'm at least, it keeps my excitement through the set.
One joke can keep you excited the whole. If you have a new joke that night, you're like, I'll put it here. Chris Rock says, here's his advice. I don't even know if it's good. Of course, grabs you by the shoulder. Spade, because I told him I was bored of my act, especially if you do a bunch of dates in a row. I saw your schedule. I know you're doing 600 this year. So I go, Rock. Sometimes by the third night, I'm like, fuck. And he goes, open with your closer. I go, well, that makes no sense. I mean, it makes sense, but it's like, open with my closing. And if you can follow that, then you got a good act. I'm like, well, I don't want to test it. What if I bomb?
Dude, I tried to open in Oklahoma City with a new joke.
Open?
I mean, close. Not open.
Whoa.
I'll open with new jokes. I like opening with new jokes because it's
so do I. It's the only life fun, and then you go right. You're like,
they're going
dogs
crazy,
are funny.
right? And
yeah,
so
they're going crazy.
You have a free pass for a bit.
You have a free pass, so it's opening with new jokes is always great. I mean, I try to close in this past weekend before Saturday Night Live with a new joke. I was like, I think I can do it. It was a new joke, and it would be a callback. So I moved my closing joke up to within the first 5 minutes, and then I was going to call back with this whole new joke. And in my head, the arrogance I have that I go, I mean, I was like, if I do this, I go, I mean, I'm maybe the best comic.
I go, for sure.
I'm the guy. I'm the GOAT. Yeah.
You're not better than me. And then I do it, and it does not go good. It goes like you would think. And I had an old joke that I could do. So, like, you're always just kind of sitting on a little
crutch
to get off on.
Get off on.
Yeah.
So I was
in
like,
case of emergency.
Yeah, and I
Mayday.
And that's what I told the comics. I go, I think I'm gonna be able to get off on this new joke, which is going to be crazy. I'm gonna close on a brand new joke.
Get ready, everybody.
Yeah. So I was like, be ready. And if anything, I go, if it goes bad, then I'll just tell this old story. And I mean, I did it 2 nights, and I told the old story on both nights. and
Will you try it again? Will you try it again?
I just told I told the story on Seth Meyers. I just moved it.
You threw it away and you gave it. Yeah.
I'll put it on Seth Meyers. I go, what was I thinking? Like closing?
Talk show bits have less pressure than stand-up bits, like
because it's a conversation.
It's a conversation, and there's less pressure. Like if it's amusing at all, they're like, "Oh fuck, you just think of that," and you put it in your act, you move it over, and it fucking dies a miserable death. Dana, when I did this corporate last week in Atlanta, it was like 80 people. The stage is 1 inch high, and they're like, "Hey, here's fuckface," and up here, a surprise. Half the people are excited, the other half are like, "I heard it was Stevie Nicks," and, like, and then some are like, "Is that Stevie Nicks?" So I was off before I went on, and they go, "You want to meet the guy?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "Hey, I'm whatever." And I go, "Hey, I don't even know what he does." I go, "Yeah." And he's got like a trophy wife with him. And I'm like, I wanted to say, "Oh, you got a trophy wife, 4th place." But anyway, it's still a trophy. But she was so nice and she's pretty. So I go, I can't say that. But he gives me a little nugget. We talk for 2 seconds, take a picture. And then he goes, "Sorry, it's so hot in there. I'm sweating. We're going to have food right after." So those 2 bits of information. A, they've drank all day and they haven't had their food yet. So A, they want you to get off. B, they're too drunk. So I go up and then I go, "Hey, everybody." I go, "I'm here because this rich guy hired me. And he seems like a good guy. I don't even know what business you are. I know it's not air conditioning." And he's like, "Are you a magician?" They couldn't believe I put that together because
they couldn't believe you thought of that.
Yeah, because they're like, "Wait, it's so hot in here." And then and I'm like, if you just get one new thing like that, and then I said one other new thing to him, like just about the night. Dana does more work on that. I do 2 little nugs, and then I go right into my act. Dogs are funny, and they're immediately zonked out. And then I go, "Hey, look at this guy walking to the bar." They wake up again. Something new, something right now he's thinking of. And then I go back to my act and they go back to sleep.
Oh.
You know what I mean, though? If you say anything about the tent, about this guy's job, they're like, "Hey, the CEO has 3 balls and beats his wife." Say something, work it in, put it.
Yeah. Well, they want you to, I always say I'm just doing my act. And if it's, I'll find out the company. And if like, there's, I can usually say like, "I don't know what y'all do." And that's enough. to, if you have something that comes to your mind, you might say it.
One thing.
But that's like, your old joke about when in your HBO special, with the bands, when the band comes out and goes, "What's up, Arizona?" You're like, "Oh, he knows us." And then,
the Eagles. On a dark Arizona highway. Everyone's like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
Cool Scottsdale wind in my hair.
Yeah.
Holy shit, my friend lives in Scottsdale. They're screaming. He goes, warm smell of Sun Devil Stadium. I'm like, all right, just sing the fucking song.
Yeah.
The cheapest one is, what's the town everyone shits on? Nearby. Anyone here from where? Naperville?
In Dallas, you go, hey, a lot of hot girls here from Dallas and a couple of rough ones from Mesquite. Everyone's like, what the fuck?
How does he do it?
How does he do it? A magician. Mesquite does have ratty chick. That was when I was doing the old Dallas improv when I was starting out.
I used to do. What did I do? Oh no, I can't even do that. I had an opener, but it's not, doesn't work in 2023. Whatever.
So Nate, you're gonna do. You go. So you go out. You do it. The places almost can't get bigger because you don't almost want them to be bigger. It's almost overwhelming as is, right?
Yeah.
You could add a night. Like when you're on the road, you're doing these arenas and shit.
Stadiums is the next up.
What floored me is when I was in Nashville.
Have you been offered a stadium? I
have not. No.
Like 60,000.
Kind of leveling off. Okay.
Yeah. We've definitely peaked.
Plummet. Well, actually, Bridgestone is in Nashville. Is that correct?
Yeah. So
when I was there, and they go, "Oh, Nate was." Usually, I try to see Nate when I'm in Nashville, right? Mm-hmm. We try to hang out, and they go, "Oh, Nate just played here," and I go, "At this fucking place? Is this a new comedy club?" And they're like, "No, this is where the fucking basketball team plays." But I was like, "God damn!" So that's great. That was your biggest night, right? 19,000. That was their biggest night.
Yeah, it's the most ever. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It was a lot.
Thing. You know what, Nate? We should open a comedy club because in Nashville, is there only just Zanies or is there more?
No, it's just Zanies. But I mean, there's other rooms and stuff, but
it's crazy. It's a huge place. I mean, Austin has a couple more. And when you get these big comedy towns, I think it's hard for comics. Like a lot of comics probably moved to Nashville. I think Theo's there, some others, but New York and LA, when I leave, I'm like, I can't go on enough. Like when I'm in LA, I can do the Comedy Store and the Improv a couple times a week if I got to practice. And how do you guys all go on at Zanies?
They do Monday is new material night usually, and then Tuesday too. And then there's enough comics, and then there's rooms everywhere. So the younger comics are going up every night at a room, at a bar or whatever. And then Zanies is kind of where we can pop in and
it's a real comedy club.
Yeah, it's a real comedy. Zanies is amazing.
Yeah, Zanies is great. But the other ones are like, we have comedy night and bumper pool, and then they can do like, a quick.
But I mean,
night.
Zanies, the new material night, I mean, those nights are selling out. Like, I mean, it'd be 300 people in there on a Monday.
Oh, I'm sure. It's pretty much the only game in town. That place blows
Do people
up.
do new material? Because we used to have that back in San Francisco in the day, new material night. And the guy had a horn who knew everybody's act. So if he'd heard it before, he'd beep the horn. Do people really honor that, or they kind of, hey, that's not new. What's he doing?
Yeah. Wait, what'd you say? They beep
a horn if you did it. They beep a horn if you do an old
joke. Well, if they think you're doing old material to kill.
Oh, wow.
You're not doing new material.
Yeah.
And the guy would beep the horn, and then
that's so funny.
It was a 70s scene.
Your ears would be ringing during my act.
We can't even hear the jokes.
I swear to God, last time I went, I did a special. I've only done not that many after my HBO one and years and years ago. I never even thought of doing another one. I was just doing shows and mostly TV stuff, so it wasn't number one priority. But there's a whole world now. It's like do a special, do a tour. Special tour with the special, and then but when I did this one, and like Alex, we have the same road manager, and he's like, "So you got all new stuff?" Like I go, "I just taped my special 2 days ago." He's like, "Well, you got to rotate." I'm like, "The whole goddamn hour? It's so hard to polish up an hour," and so I really had to get cracking and bust my hump, and it's turned into another hour. But of course, they're like, "Do another special." I'm like, I swear to God, I get too attached to it. I want to go, this was a lot of work. And I like mixing it up. Seinfeld used to say, or when he was on here, he said, these people that have 5 specials, you really only have about an hour 15 of good material. He said the rest of it's
that you'll ever write in your whole
falls
life.
through the cracks, and then it gets a few laughs and it goes away. But the hardcore shit, he's a big proponent of do the same stuff and just rotate it around.
Yeah, that's a different, that's the thing that I always bring up with you and Norm were talking about once, where Norm asked you if you came up, like it'd be both of y'all, if y'all came up today, how the climate is with stand up now, because stand up is becoming like music, where you can you do a special, an album, and then you go and you do tours, and that's all you really got to do. Do you think y'all had to go do TV? Seinfeld had to go have a TV show. Y'all had to go to Saturday Night Live. There wasn't an opportunity for y'all to do this other stuff.
This is new. This is new.
Well, you make a better living than
most
people in SAG and AFTRA. So if this is working and this is a new way to do this, and everyone just by old school habit says, well, when are you going to do a sitcom or when are you do a movie? You don't have to by any stretch of the imagination, especially for money. It's only if you said, I have more choices now. That's what happened to me. I left SNL, got on a show, and then they're like, do you want to do this? Do you want to do a movie? And it was choice. You were allowed to do it. But if you could just be a stand-up now and be a great one and kill. And you turn into a household name, especially with the younger people because of TikTok and IG. We
don't get the movies though. Like it's that kind of it
is fun having a movie out.
Yeah, it hasn't clicked over into if you hope that maybe one day the movies and the TV shows, like these people realize like how big of an audience you have and like what you can bring to like Bert did his movie The Machine, and it's #1 on Netflix, and it's because it's like, I mean, he's got a giant audience and he's doing everywhere in the country. He's doing thousands and thousands of
It is fun to mix it up. I mean, Theo and I wrote that movie and we're figuring out a time to do it. I would have to stop touring too, but he tours more than I do and more days in a row. And he would lose a chunk of money because when you're doing a smaller movie, that's just the way of the world, It's fun to do a movie. It's really fun when they come out and then you go and do this. But you can't really compete with nonstop touring. Just the money just flies in. So you have to make a conscious decision to say, this matters more right now. And I'll always be able to do that. But it's hard to just put the brakes when it's just too good,
Yeah, you don't want to. Well, it's like, stand-up is fun, and I love it, and it's
You're good at it.
Well, it's like like you see the strike and all that stuff, and it's like you just don't have that. You just gotta. That's what I liked about the Saturday Night Live thing was it's the immediate. When I did that set, even though in the moment I don't know how it did outside of the room.
Yeah.
But you're like, it's already out. It's done. Yeah, not good. You go. But it's already it's done. It's out, and it's like fun to be like, oh, all right.
Anything immediate is fun. SNL, I did miss that. Like you do it, and then we go film a movie, and it takes forever to film, and doesn't come out for a year, and you're like, I have this movie. It's pretty funny. And by the time it comes out, you're like, oh, fuck, that was a year ago. And that's not as immediate. And you're in a theater trying to get that, oh, is it working kind of thing. You get to see people laugh. But when you're shooting it, no one's allowed to laugh. I shot something today for something, and the crew was told not to laugh. And I'm like, is this not working? They're like, oh, they're not allowed. I'm like, it's just so weird. You want that. And you get it every night, and you're a really good comedian. And I love going on the road. I love doing a theater. I'm on tour right now. And when it works, you do get a buzz for a while afterwards. It's just fun if you're good. You go, I feel like I just did something.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
SNL is just based on procrastination and ADD, I think. And both that I have a good measure of. So I didn't realize till I left, like, what a perfect thing for me, because I get bored very easily. Yeah, movies are tough that way. The only thing about stand-up long-term is the travel.
Starts to
can
hurt,
get a little that's the only thing. SNL, when you're on SNL as a cast member, you're stationary.
Yeah. That could be something that I look forward to. If I was able to shoot something here in Nashville where I can be home. and then I don't go on the road. That would be nice. But yeah, the tour, driving around and traveling, all that. And we have a tour bus now, so that stuff helps. That your stuff is kind of on a bus, and you're not in and out of hotels. And
so you finish the gig and jump on the bus like a band and drive all night.
Yep.
Or if it's across country, you can rent the space shuttle because you have so much money and your money gun.
Get the Concorde. Whatever that old.
I took the Concorde to Wendy's one day. That's how rich I was. No, I took it to Europe. Remember the Concorde? That was cool.
I took it to London to promote Wayne's World.
I took it to London to fucking do Tommy Boy, and we and
you could walk up and talk to the pilots. There was no cockpit door. There were just 3 pilots.
Well, it was like Coach. It was small.
Yeah, and then like, we just keep it our own things up here, And they're just 3 Brits.
We only crashed some of the time. That's why they had to get rid of it. They crashed, and they were like, "I'm like, one crash. Who cares?"
Well, they continued after that debris hit the engine. I don't like to fly, Nate. I always say to someone, if you're getting a private jet, make sure it's a really good one. Never be on a budget when you're vertical. Ever.
Yeah.
Because you can't afford the good one. Just go regular. Go Southwest.
When we went to that premiere in England where no one knew who the fuck we were, me and Farley thought we were famous. No reason we thought we were. We just thought we were because we had a movie coming out. It wasn't even out yet. We thought we were the Beatles or 2 of them. So we go over and he goes, "Are you on the Concorde? You think you're so great?" I go, "Aren't you flying with me?" He goes, "Oh, I'm going to Ireland because I'm Irish and I'm going to go a day early with my mom and get a shillelagh." This fucking idiot bought a shillelagh and then he kept bringing it everywhere. He goes, "It's lucky. I'm Irish." I go, "God, enough." And then he forgot it and he made someone fly back and get it because he lost it. And anyway, that's so stupid.
I don't even know what a shillelagh is.
I was going to say, Nate, I was waiting.
Danish, it's a stick, right?
I don't know. I'm not.
I tell the whole story. No one even knows. It's a walking stick.
I think it was just a stick. I think Chris found a stick in the dirt.
It was a stick that in Ireland cost $700. But
that's a walking stick.
Hey, you want a shillelagh?
But yeah, you could. Yeah, I bet CBS or somebody would. Yeah, they'd set up a studio for you in Nashville if they already probably have studios there, and you could try a half-hour show.
You could do a half-hour.
You're good at it. You're good on camera. You're good with an audience. I mean, I could see you doing a half-hour show and crushing it.
Well, I mean, that's like. That's what you get with that Saturday Night Live. You get that like, man, multicam, like that stuff still, I think it still works and people still want that and they're just not doing it and they're not trying it. And, even like movies, I mean, that's why Sandler's movies do so well. And that's why, Wayne's World and Tommy Boy, like people are still watching this because they're just super fun movies. And like that kind of stuff interests me to kind of do that kind of thing that,
a movie or a television show or both? What would be your dream?
Maybe both. No, both. I don't know. I mean, I don't know for sure, but it's, both. I mean, I've always wanted to do like a Seinfeld type show or something but, and then also like, I love Sandler's model of making these movies and, as all you guys in them and, I'm like the Wayne's World, like all that. I mean, look at SNL, like how much stuff, like that's my age that kind of came up with that. And I feel like that's not around as much as it was.
A good, big, dumb, funny comedy. I think World Missy was maybe one of the last ones that David was in.
Wrong Missy.
Just a really big, silly, fun,
and it did so great.
Yeah.
And it was in it.
Crushed.
Like it crushes. And then it's like I just don't feel, like it's like there's not enough of them and they're not at the theaters where people just want to go have fun and laugh.
That's the luckiness of you having a lot of attention right now and being good is that you can maybe get a movie. It's very hard. And people think it's so easy. But to get a movie made, to get on a sitcom, and then it's like a piece of a puzzle that's kind of just fun to have. Because when I see people that stop me, it's so many different things they could like, which that's part of the fun, Oh, I saw the wrong Missy, or, oh, the Emperor's New Groove, the cartoon one. So that's fun to have, just different things. And then you feel like different muscle. Movies are the hardest to do. I don't know if Dana agrees, but the hardest, but really fun when they come out and they kind of live.
That's what I love the most. I mean, but to make them is hard. But I think if you
Brutal.
can conquer stand-up mountain, which Nate has, I think you can make a feature film or a sitcom. It's a lot of the application, the same brain set that you figured out how to write back to back an hour of talking that's likable, enjoyable, funny, full of surprises. So yeah, I would encourage you to do it if you feel like it. I mean, I think the idea of travel long run, it's nice to take breaks like Chris Rock does. He toured like crazy and then he's doing a movie, directing a film.
Yeah, he came down. He was there. Him and Mulaney came Saturday.
Oh, they came down.
Which was very nice. Yeah. And
almost more scary that they're there.
Yeah, well, they came before. Yeah, I was like, did they come show me at? No, they came before. And then I was like, are y'all staying for the show? And they're like, yeah. And I thought like they were just like, all right, man. Like, like a buddy stopping in, have a good show.
Yeah, before you do a stand-up.
Yeah. And like, what's funny is at 30 Rock, I've been going in that building for 15 years without really realizing it. I was like Conan, Fallon, Seth Meyers. Yeah. I mean, it's really all I've gone to is 30 Rock. And then, then meeting you guys so much. And like, it was like, I was like doing SNL, you're like Rock and Mulaney and like Pete. You're like all these people I've been around. You're like, oh, it's all been NBC and 30 Rock. And
you're so close to that you're so close to that stage because I think Conan's used to be one down and Jimmy's like two down. But they're just, you go up these staircase, you go up the fire thing, and then you're at a different studio, and it's huge, and you're like, holy fuck, this is all here?
All right there, yeah. And my whole TV career has been just within those floors. And I did Seth Meyers. That was crazy, because you just are like, we shot the sketch where I like break stuff. We shot that promo. And I mean, then within 5 minutes, I'm just on Seth Meyers.
They're like, go up the Seth.
Yeah, it's a great little clubhouse. Just go up a flight of stairs, go on another network, another show. Yeah.
Well, Dana, we've Nate seems burned out. He did SNL all week. He's being a great sport to come on. He's seeing his Zoom.
Thank you, Nate.
He jams all his accolades crammed together in the Zoom behind him. I think that's nice.
I gotta have an SNL one. Yeah.
Oh, you got to jam an SNL. You wore your SNL sweatshirt.
I got my sweatshirt. So
yeah, the only guy.
Well, Tracy Morgan. Whenever I run into him, he goes, "How you doing, alum?" So now we can do that.
Yeah,
with
we're all
Nate.
alums now.
Yeah. It's a true. Yeah, dude. I mean, it means it was awesome. It was crazy. And it's something I honestly thought something that I never really, I never even like let myself even think. You don't want to get fake turned down from something that you think you might get. So you're just kind of like, I'm not going to get that.
That's great.
So it was wild.
Well, you're part of the culture in a different way now because of this. Yeah. And also, I read a review about the George Washington Dream and that it's an iconic sketch in many ways. And the ending was very cool and different with Keenan. It had a high quality piece of writing and performance.
They wrote. I mean, a lot of people think I had some dude. They wrote from me, and they did just a great job.
Such a gift.
Yeah,
isn't it crazy?
They understood your rhythm and your timing is really.
They really did
important, and they wrote to you, and so congratulations. It doesn't always go this good.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys very much.
All right, bud. Appreciate you taking time. I'll see you soon, and we'll talk later, buddy.
All right, buddy.
Ray Romano. Like my
yeah.
We just had
Ray Romano. I like that.
Ray. We just had Ray on. Ray is a good buddy of mine. We did we did stand up together at the Mirage last 5 years.
Ray is a great stand up.
Very smooth, funny stand up. Hosted SNL. Was it twice?
Twice.
Yeah. Had some great sketches.
Did a classic sketch in there. We won't give it away with Tim Meadows. I don't know the name of it. They're Sportscasters.
Yep, Sports Center.
Crazy funny, and we break all that down.
Oh,
and we go through his
we break
travails.
That down to like powder. We break it down so in the tiniest bits. It's like sand.
Yeah, we break it down like this is how I went to the club, and then we break that in half. This is how I got dressed. We break that in half. Fourths. These are the shoes that I bought the night. So we keep digressing. Eventually, we got him back to he's just born, and his mother bringing it home for the
He's done Ice Age. He's done. He just directed and co-wrote a movie that was very good. No bullshit. Dane and I both saw it. We both, without knowing it, saw it. And not comparing notes, and on the podcast, I have to say, I thought it was a very interesting movie. it is a bit of a roller coaster. It's not just funny, but it's kind of a tearjerker in places.
That was fun because I knew that we both love the film. So we kind of go over his career in SNL because I didn't want to come out with it. But at the end, I think he was excited or happy because we legitimately love the movie. Yeah. And it's a lot of stuff for parents. It's not like a dark drama, but it's dramatic and it's funny at the same time. And the name of it is
Somewhere in Queens.
Somewhere in Queens. I was going to say Night at the Queens.
We turned into Siskel and Ebert. Movies to me.
Am I Siskel or am I Ebert?
You're the guy that's...
Ray Romano is also, especially when you look at his resume, especially humble and real. Yeah. He didn't really get a break in show business till he's 36. He worked at a bank till he's 29. So his story is very interesting. And God, he's done a lot after Everybody Loves
Met his
Raymond.
wife at the bank.
Met his wife at the bank. And, let's put it, eventually he made a deposit on her.
Okay.
Sorry.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Dennis Miller will sometimes appear on the podcast.
So Ray, here he is, Ray Romano. You know him, you love him, you know his voice. And he was very, very interesting.
Have a nice listen. And remember, 10 and 2.
Pull over and finish. Don't go to work or don't go into the store. Pull over and finish the whole goddamn podcast.
Yeah. And the commercials are really funny.
We don't like pauses. We're not the pause guys.
There's no 30-second going forward. Not with this podcast. Do that with the other guys.
We don't play that shit.
We should do a podcast called The Other Guys. Kind of like the Will Ferrell movie. Anyway.
We'll just remake that movie.
Well, I think the camera went off 20 minutes ago.
They're out of film.
Film? Like, what are we, 1920?
He's like, is there a spider, motherfucker? Heather,
wow.
Smash it and kill it to death.
There's no pre-interview?
No way to prep.
No way to prep. It's just being in the moment, real.
Can I bite a piece of bread while we do this?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is that disrespectful?
No.
Not at all, especially because you've announced it. Now people listening all over the world, by the way, will be like, that's cool. He told us what was happening. He wasn't having some kind of jaw dysfunction.
No, I came right from my eye doctor. I haven't had breakfast yet.
It's all right. I usually
eat all you want.
I talked to Dana for the first 10 minutes anyway.
Oh, okay.
So I discovered Spade and Dennis Miller discovered, was it Chris Rock or who did he? Oh, he also Schneider. Did anyone discover you in a linchpinny kind of way back in the day? Some club owner, some big time comic. Hey, kid, you're gonna make it. You may
what do you
not
mean,
have
What
one.
do you mean discover? Like, how did you discover those guys?
Well, recommended them.
Yeah, that's a strong word.
Oh.
Dennis, not discover. That's the wrong word. But Dennis Miller, he saw Thabadoo Thandler and told Lorne Michaels about him.
Right.
I believe, right? It's that kind of thing.
Well,
it's
that's
more like
that's
networking.
No, that's a big thing.
I'll answer for you because Ray's eating. Ray was performing at probably the Cellar, and he got.
Yeah, but I'll tell you one thing. Before I got to the Cellar, I was at the Improv. I was just a kind of a still a late night / one, maybe get on the regular show comic at the Improv. And my buddy John, John Manfilati, David.
I do,
guy, yeah. He was a regular at the Cellar. And on one Friday night, somebody canceled. They didn't have a guy. Blah blah blah. They had and the owner said, "Who can we get down here?" And he said, "There's a new dude at the Improv that's pretty good." And he called the Improv and he called me. He said, "Can you get down to the Cellar in 15 minutes?" And I said, "Yeah." And I raced down there. I got there, and that then the Cellar became my club. That was, but he's the one who got me in there. I don't know if you count that. Do you count that as anything?
Yeah,
I'm gonna count it. I'm gonna count. I know there are people who disagree with me, but so just for inside baseball, so the the Improv, which Bud Friedman had, we have 55th Improv, 45th Street,
44th,
right?
44th and 9th. 44th and 9th.
And the cellar was in the
Out
village.
in McDougal Street, yeah.
So it's like a 10-minute cab ride to
Well,
Nirvana. Comedy.
at least, maybe more.
20-minute cab ride to Comedy Nirvana. That could be your book if you ever write a book.
Dana, I have a technical question for Ray because I only met people at the Improv when I was staying out there, and they said this guy Gary Grant could get you some road gigs if you fly out there. So I do 2 weeks. I take a subway to Times Square, walk to the Improv, sit there and meet some comic like you or someone, wasn't you, but someone that was established would drive me to like BF Packies in Jersey, and I would do 20 minutes and I'd get, $60. So in 2 weeks I could clear $500, which I did, and it was great. But the Improv stage, is it elevated at all in New York? It doesn't. It seems like it's in the corner.
Little bit.
It was, yeah. I mean, now it's an Italian restaurant, the Improv. But what do you mean? Is it elevated? Yeah, it was
because it looked like the one in LA was like you walk upstairs and you're like, you walk up 3 stairs, you're way up.
I was scared of that Improv. I got humiliated there once because I was doing the Mickey Rooney show. I was like 25 and I was going to do sets at the Improv, and I'm doing all my dancing around and singing and doing little funny moves and funny little voices. And I thought I was doing really well. And then old guy, probably 40, came up to me and go, "I like you. You get laughs, kid, but they don't like you." And he pointed to like 15 comics hanging out on the other side of the club.
What?
They don't like you. They don't get you.
Wait, the New York Improv?
Yeah,
that was the New York
Improv. Yep, 1981.
That was before me. But I do remember when I was coming up in there, I remember you coming in, Dana, and this is when you were on SNL. And you did a spot, and you were the big guest star. And I remember I think John Lovitz was in the audience at the Improv, was at the Improv also.
Mm-hmm.
And so you on stage said, "How do you guys like Lovitz? What do you think of John Lovitz?" You were asking the audience to get a reaction.
Balderdash.
Fine. Now you have to bring me up to try to get a laugh.
They like me better.
I remember, I was a young dude then thinking,
Ray, who were the good guys when you were starting? Who was like on the slate there?
Jerry? No.
At the Improv? No, Jerry was never there.
Okay.
Our paths never crossed.
Wow.
At the Improv was like Alan Havey.
Yep.
And Ron Darien.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Chappelle was just starting, Chris Rock was just kind of starting then. And then at the Cellar, I was more when I ran into like Jon Stewart and Louis C.K. But the Cellar's the club that I still go to now.
Cellar's very
didn't
big.
you shoot what was the name of your it was Netflix special? You started the set at the Cellar and then you walked to another club during the special.
Well,
another Cellar.
That's the annex of the Cellar. Yeah, it's around the corner.
Yeah.
It was called right here around the corner.
Right here,
It was called The Jaunt. And it was just a quick jaunt across.
Were you
and
were you quick to get kind of what you would call your voice and like the way you do stand up now, or did you work with props and puppets and stuff and then get into your thing, or was it...
I had a couple props.
You did?
Actually.
God, when we dig down, Dana had props. I had props.
You had a prop, right? what a puppet?
I had a little duffel bag of it was at the end of my act. It was at the end of my act, and I would do impressions. I would do the kid you always wanted to sit next to during a physics exam, and it was nerdy hat, nerdy glasses.
Interesting.
And I would turn around and do the old reveal.
Closer alert.
And did he talk?
Nope, he didn't talk.
All visual. Okay. All visual.
It was just visual. These are all visuals. So it was just a set for, I think there were 4 things. It was the kid you wanted to sit next to during a physics exam.
Boom.
It's a funny setup.
That same kid's mother. I did his mother.
Whoa. What'd she look like?
And it was just wig with cat glasses.
Same.
Okay.
So one after the other.
Yeah. And and then I did with the wig and the glasses. I don't know if you guys remember. The Mets were. This was '86, so the Mets were in the World Series and the playoffs, and there was a woman who sat behind home plate who tried to distract the pitcher by doing this, rolling her hands around.
Yeah.
And she was prominent if you watch the game.
Sure, on camera.
Like this. So with the wig on and the glasses, I did that woman also.
Oh God, what a tricky
Are
laugh
these getting
that is.
equal laughs? Are these just all killing?
They're doing very well.
Yeah.
And then the closer not only was props, but it involved music. I said now of course the counter to the nerdy guy was the cool guy who would come into class, and it was just it was sunglasses and half a cigarette. And when I put my back to the audience,
A lot of back to the audience so far. Go ahead.
When I put and this would crush. When I put my back to the audience, they would play the theme to Eye of the Tiger, and it would be and then on dunt I would turn around, and then on each dunt I would move my head. So I had glasses and a cigarette. Dun 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 dun.
That's actually inspired. Go ahead.
On the second one, yeah. Dun 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 dun. And then when the dunce ended, I would do with my lips. I had the half a cigarette. I would swallow the cigarette like that.
Wow.
True swallow or fake swallow?
No. I would just flip it with my lips into my mouth, and it crushed.
You're the kind of guy I would hate to follow.
Oh my God. He walks off and goes, "Follow that motherfucker."
Wait a minute. I had one more. One more prop and one more impression, and it would be a nuclear explosion. And I would take the rubber band that, I don't know if you know this, in broccoli in the supermarket, the broccoli rubber bands, they're fat.
Yeah.
Know it well.
So I would get one of those.
Very well.
And I would put it on my head, and you could feel it creeping up. So as it was creeping up my head, the pressure of it, I would do the whistle of the nuclear. And when I would time it, and it would snap up my hair into a mushroom cloud.
Oh,
it would be like a little bit like a mushroom cloud. And very seldom did that not super kill.
Well, damn. I mean, I know this sounds kind of crazy,
Search.
but are those bits still around for hire? I mean, I got a couple nickels in my pocket.
God damn.
Visual.
There was one day on when I got the TV show.
What you got a TV show? What one was that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got Everybody's Raymond, and Letterman was our producer, So I would do Letterman at least twice a year, every year the show was on. So when I was running out of material and stuff, one of those spots about 5 or 6 years in, I recalled all those impressions sitting next to Dave.
Oh, okay.
I just showed Dave, this is from the old days, and blah, 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 whatever.
And they crushed again.
I'm not joking. That would have been good on Star Search because it's quick. It's fucking score.
Yeah.
And you get your last, you get 4 stars, you move on.
I got 1.5 stars on Star Search.
You did Star Search?
I had Star Search. I lost to Geechee Guy.
Geechee Guy, Joker Nade.
Yeah. Did you do it? Did any of you guys do it?
I didn't do it, but did you use those bits on Star Search? Because I can't imagine you losing.
Not at all. Not at all. I did 90 seconds of stand-up, and it didn't work. And you get a 2, it was 1 to 4 stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you get a 2 just for showing up, and I got 3, 2, 2, 2, and the last person gave me a 1. So it averaged out to 1.3.
Just set a record.
That's the most dismal score I've ever heard of on Star Search.
No, I mean that's cruel. I ask people this. How did you deal with stuff that didn't work well in your career, like that thing? Like, were you injured for a week mentally, or you just go? They don't know what they're talking about.
No, I would. Yeah, it was a blow. But the story is actually has a happy ending because my wife was pregnant with my first kid, my daughter, and she was due about 4 weeks from what that. So I fly out to LA to do Star Search, and if you win, you come back, you go the next week.
Next week, yeah.
But they film it like a couple days later. So I would have had to stay if I won. So I lost, and I told my manager we were going to stay for a couple of days. I go, let's just go home. And when I went home, my wife's water broke, and she delivered the baby the next day. So I was lucky to be. Yeah.
Did you kind of intuitively rate the baby at all with stars? When you saw your kid. Sorry.
Well, what was funny? What was funny was she was born in the city.
I like it.
She was born. I was living in Queens, and she was born in the city. And so I was going back and forth. And the second night, I went to the cellar just to say hello to the guys. And I went down in the basement. And Mike Sweeney? Do you guys remember Mike Sweeney?
Comic.
Anyway,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mike Sweeney was there, and he saw me, and he goes, "Hey, congratulations, man!" And I said, "No, didn't you hear I lost?" I thought he goes, "The baby, you asshole!"
Show business.
Ray, I auditioned for Star Search at the mall in Arizona, and they go, big audition. I thought Ed McMahon would be there. He was not. But they just had like a cattle call. So I waited in line like a chump. I wore a white sweatshirt that had a bat on it, like a Batman, not even a logo that said, just Dana. It was just the outline of a bat. And I thought that signified comedy somehow. I don't even know why, like Batman, like I'm cool. I don't know. So I go up, and I do my bit, they're just running a camera and the guy's reading a magazine and everyone just goes up and does like 2 minutes. And I thought literally when I even got to my second joke, it would be like a movie. He'd look up from the magazine, and then on my third joke, he'd start to stand up. And then on the fourth joke, he'd like hug me and say, we got him. And just like shut the place down and say, you're going to Hollywood. Literally no one looked up. I did my act. No one called me. I go, and even for like 2 years, I'm like, it takes a while because they got to get the tapes and they got to review them. And so I never got on. God damn, I wanted that one bad.
Both of you guys had the Young Comedian special on HBO, which I don't know if it still exists, but that was kind of a big deal. And I coincidentally hosted.
Yeah.
Hosted Ray's?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And my blink about you then was just the confidence. And I've gotten to know you a little more over time. But you came across so confident, and right as I was about to go out to introduce you, you said, reintroduce me as Regis. So I don't even do an impression of you, but so I did Regis Philbin introducing you.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you just said, do Regis. I want to be brought out to Regis, and you crushed.
Do you remember who was on that one?
Janine Garofalo.
Yeah.
Help me out.
Andy Kindler.
Andy Kindler, who's hysterical comic.
Nick DiPaolo.
Yes, another great guy.
Bill Bellamy.
Mm-hmm. Bill Bellamy. Wow.
And Judd Apatow.
Judd Apatow. Yeah.
Really? Judd was on that one? I didn't know Judd was on any of them.
Judd was on that. Yeah.
And did that help you? That's kind of a boost back then. There wasn't much going on, and HBO was a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I think after that, I got my own half-hour special. Mm-hmm. They did those half-hour specials.
Sure.
So I got my own special. It was all good, but the thing then was to look to try to get a development, not to try to get a development deal, but that's what was happening. And nobody was offering me anything. I had done all of those things, the HBO, the Young Comedians.
You start to get nervous because you go, I'm out of like tricks here. They've all seen me.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like about 11 years in, and I thought, well, no one's offering. And then it wasn't until I got news radio. I got hired on news radio, and then fired on day 2, and. Yeah, so it was right around that then where I was like wondering, I love doing stand up. If it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. But then Letterman, I got my first Letterman, and Letterman made it happen. It was Letterman or nobody.
Were you fired, or were you
Yeah, I was
when I
fired.
looked it up, it said you left there to go do your own sitcom, like the writers from
What?
there. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
that's what it says on Wikipedia. So we're gonna have to
What?
challenge this
That
one,
looks
Ray.
good though
I've
for you.
never, I've never seen that ever.
Isn't that great?
No, I've never. No, I was stone cold. 6 o'clock in the morning. My manager called me at the hotel and said they're going in another direction. You know?
What was that
I love
direction?
that phrase.
Who played you?
Who played you?
Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan
Yes.
came in. Yeah, yeah.
So, in a parallel universe, you are hosting the world's biggest podcast right now.
Yeah,
Potentially.
we both made out all right, I guess. You know.
Ray, Dana, back then, I would say going on the improv, I was just trying to kill. But with Ray, the more important thing was, which I couldn't really understand, they're just looking for a personality back then to write a sitcom about. Tim Allen had Tool Time. So like, this is his act. He's like a tough guy.
Mhm.
And they could see a show around that. I was just concerned about doing good and getting laughs. And then you have to look at the big picture. Like Ray, they see his whole persona up there and say, we could see him as this and do a whole show around that. And I think that's what happened, right, Ray?
Well, I mean, like I said, nobody was interested except for Letterman. I mean, I don't know what he saw. I was just like, I guess, the every guy, you know. But I had a really good first Letterman spot. I mean, as hard as I am on myself, it was one of the better spots I've had ever on TV.
That's so good. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, and Rob Burnett called me on the following Saturday. It was a weekend, and he called me, and he said, "Listen, they've liked it. We're interested. Don't sign with anybody else." And you know, I told him, "There's nobody else." You know,
Played easy to get.
Yeah.
How old were you at that point?
I was like 30, 36 maybe. Yeah. And they sent me to LA. You know, I had 3 kids then. I had 3 little kids.
Mm.
I had the twins and the 3-year-old. And they sent me to LA, and I interviewed I met with about 10 potential showrunners. And the first guy I wanted turned it down. The first guy was a writer named Michael Borkow, who was writing on Friends at the time, and Friends was the hot, sexy show.
Sure.
So I got all you know, seduced by that. And he was cool. He was, you know, he was single though. He didn't have a family or anything. And we offered it to him, and he passed on it. And then Phil Rosenthal was my second choice. And, you know, if that doesn't happen, I don't know, you know, who knows?
Yeah.
Did you ever have a moment, because it's sort of a theme of the show, of maybe trying for Saturday Night Live? Because everything in hindsight, like when you're 2 hosting things, which we'll get to, I mean, you were great, like a great sketch player. You know, did you have any kind of designs about that? Because it's either the sitcom path in those days or pure stand-up or SNL. Right?
I kind of knew I wasn't a really pure sketch guy. You know, I didn't have voices and characters, and I didn't know. But did I dream of being on SNL? Yes, I did. You know, I was 17, 18 when it came out, and we stayed home and watched it every night, every week. But I never thought I was going to be a sketch player and audition. I never asked my manager to get me an audition for SNL because I kind of knew I didn't have that muscle in there, you know. But I wanted to be on it.
It's very hit. I mean, it's a cool road if you blow up on the classic show. Everybody Loves Raymond, and then they call. And then you're going to go host. So your first thing is just hosting.
You skip
it all. That's quite
yeah.
a privilege, you know.
Yeah. It was. I mean, it was probably. I think it was year 2, maybe, of Everybody's Raymond. It was 99.
Mm-hmm.
So 3. It was year 3 actually.
Were you a hit out of the gate?
On the Raymond? No. We were on Fridays for the first 21 of the first 26 episodes. We were on Fridays, and we were in 100th place. And then the only thing that was keeping him from canceling us was the reviews were pretty good. So, it was less Moonves at the time. So he kind of hung on to us. And then he gave us a 5-week trial at the end of year one. He put us on after Cosby. And Cosby was, their hit.
Mhm.
And he said that, we knew that was our trial, that if we didn't deliver then, we were gone. And we actually went up a tick from Cosby. And then we stayed on.
Whoa.
Yeah, we stayed on.
Wow. Was Cosby at some point, did I read this right, that at a given point he would get 50 million people watching his sitcom?
Maybe that first one.
Yeah,
the first Cosby.
one. Yeah.
This was the second one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about 50. That seems like a lot, but
I got canceled at 25 million with one of the boys with Mickey Rooney. Going back to that one more time. They go, we're stuck at 25 million. We're out of here.
Really?
Yeah. That was.
If you get $1 million, you're a hit, right?
If your parents watch,
Just Shoot Me got
probably get a
canceled with
season.
700 million. Bigger than the Super Bowl every week.
Half the.
No, when you look back, the ratings, even on Rules of Engagement, a few people remember. Thank you. That we got the same thing. It's just typical. The ratings at that point made us get on the borderline of canceled. Today would be huge, but it goes down when then people go, I got picked up. We got a 0.09. I'm like, that's great.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the ratings are. 0.09 doesn't sound like a lot of something.
Yeah. I don't either. I used to watch every week.
Anything.
0.0 anything out of 100, out of 1, out of what? I don't know.
I would look them up every week, man, and I would check the numbers every week.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
And now who knows? I can't tell what's good and what's not good.
Did you call that hotline and it would give you the ratings?
Yeah. I would call something. I remember I would call something. Yeah.
It would make your day or it would crush you. It'd be like, oh.
Yeah. And we got, for our finale, the equation was this. We got, if you took Seinfeld's finale and subtracted Friends' finale, that was the numbers for our finale. Yeah.
Like it literally exactly perfect.
Funny.
Yeah. But it was good. It was good.
Big.
But Seinfeld got like 75. Friends got like close to 50 or whatever. We got close to 30, Yeah.
Huge.
Damn.
Huge
That's
numbers.
just gigantic. That's bigger than the Oscars.
I saw a sketch you did, Ray, about Sports Center. I mean, we don't have to get in all the sketches, but there was one when you were
with Tim Meadows.
Yeah.
That was that's the one. That's the one.
Is that the one, really? Because when you look them up, they're on YouTube and you jump around, but that one.
Well, that's the one that has a little bit, the barest nugget of a little bit of a cult following because of the Sweet Sassy Molasses.
Yeah, I wonder if
thing.
they say it on TV and Sports Center now because it's so fucking funny.
That was very inspired. The sports guys they're at the desk, and I'm starting to watch it, and then I see the turn, and I go, "Oh, damn, that's really
I didn't
funny.
see it coming." Yeah,
and then you landed it so beautifully, Ray. Just like
I have to thank. Mike Royce was one of the writers on Raymond, and they all flew, him, Phil, and one other writer, Tom, flew with me, and Mike kind of threw that together like a couple nights before, and we all then worked on it, but he came up with that, and he came up with the Sweet Sassy Molasses, and it worked, and the guy, it was a. Tim Meadows was playing Stuart Scott. I don't know if you
real guy.
Yeah.
Who unfortunately, booyah. And sadly, he passed away. But he had cancer, but I saw him probably a year before he passed away. The first time I ever saw him, and I didn't know whether he was going to be into it or not. But he couldn't have been more flattered by it. He was really cool about it. Yeah. But that's like every now and then I'll be at a golf tournament and someone from the side will yell out Sweet Sassy Molasses.
So just for people who may want to look it up, it's sort of two newscasters. They start sportscasters. They start to use all these colorful phrases to report the games, and Ray's character takes it in this.
But he's known for the character that Tim Meadows is playing is the real guy who was known for having that catchphrase, booyah!
Yeah.
Whenever he would narrate a clip or something.
Yeah. And he has cold side of the pillow, stuff like that, right?
Yeah. They
The
all have
real
those
guy's
stuff.
booyah, and then your guy is sassy molassie or whatever.
I was bringing him. I was
Sassy
the
molassie.
new guy, and I tried to match him with sweet sassy molassie.
Sweet
and
sassy
then,
molassie.
Yours had some racial stuff in it that he wasn't happy with.
Yeah, it's funny when I look back at it. I'm like,
there's no chance.
I don't know if we would have wrote that now. And then the second sketch. That was what happened was the night before we flew in for SNL. Was I think it was the Golden Globe Awards. It was one of those awards, and Roberto Benigni won, and he jumped up on the chair, and he went crazy. And I was looking at him, and I was thinking, I could look like him if they could make me look like Benigni. And on the plane there, we threw together the sketch that was the second one up that night. Was the Roberto Benigni comes into the restaurant and goes nuts, Yeah.
Was there any?
That was in the same show.
Same show. It was.
That's good. Out of the gate, boom, boom.
Ford Center first, and then Benigni was next. Yeah.
That is the thing about SNL, Dime Store Observation, is that stuff is thought of, and then it's fully mounted 24 hours later. And on live TV, there's the immediacy of it. There's nothing.
They're very good
that.
at it.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I mean,
it's a challenge. You tell them I need to be Roberto Benigni. They're like, "Yep," and then
got it.
You walk in the next day and they got you all dialed in. You're like, "Where'd you find this outfit?" Well, we matched it with he wore at the Oscars. We matched it with this. We got the wig from here, and you're like, "Shit, man, these guys know what they're doing."
So you're jumping around like that. Did you get hurt at all? Your hosting times on sketches? Did you get hurt doing that?
No.
I mean. Anytime you're doing physical and it's live and your brain is thinking of so many things, it could fall down and stuff.
No, I didn't get physically
I'm
hurt.
happy to hear that.
Yeah.
mentally.
You look so beat up.
That was the question I want. That's my number one question for today. Did you get hurt?
Did you guys take any blows in the whole time?
Well, I don't know if you can see it. I got a bump here. I had a grade 3 shoulder separation doing a pre-tape pratfall as Dan Quayle, the vice president, going over the ottoman like the Dick Van Dyke Show. Yeah. And I just crushed it. And then I went 2 more times not knowing. And then I'm walking around like a pirate with my shoulder way up. And Mary Tyler Moore's husband was an MD. And he goes, "Hey, what's wrong?" He felt it and said, "I think you got a shoulder separation." So I went, they checked it out. But it was just barely on the edge of a surgery. But I did a show the next night. And it was very painful. Switching clothes really fast with a separated shoulder.
Did you do that bit? Did you do the bit?
Well, that was a pre-tape, so it showed in the pre-tape. Yeah,
pre-tape.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you get hurt, David?
I got hurt twice. One was Schiller Vision. If you weren't in the sketches, he could pluck you for a day's shoot.
Films. Yeah.
And me and Victoria Jackson, we were older people, and and bad luck, they drop an atomic bomb, lands on my head. But they did it from a ladder, and I have a bad neck. And it's a jammed neck. And so him dropping this thing, no matter how heavy it is, it wasn't that heavy, but it keeps racking me. And they keep doing take after take. And I almost can't stand up anymore. I'm like, I feel like I have a concussion. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. But I can't say anything because I just want to be on the show. Yeah. And then Farley picked me up backwards. We fell through a table and motivational speaker. And then I sort of got rocked by that.
But Farley picked me up is tough.
Yeah.
Where does that go?
And by the way, it's not super thought out in quotes. So he's like, "I'll pick you up and we'll kind of spin around and fall through a table." I'm like, "Sure." And whatever happened, you just cross your fingers. But yeah, you weren't hurt during Ice Age, were you, doing that voiceover?
Yeah, I was.
You were the mammoth. That was a big one. Are they still doing them, or is it over? Because don't you want more?
5. We did 5 of them.
5?
5.
Nobody gets 5.
Never. Well, you've done. I mean, you guys have both done animation, right?
Transylvania did 4, and I'm like, do one more, motherfucker.
Secret Life of Pets.
When you did it, did either of you have other actors in the room with you? Because I never did for 5 movies.
Nope. Nobody.
David?
You didn't have what's crack-a-lackin'? You didn't have Chris Rock in there?
No.
No, I never did. We talked to Andy Samberg, who's in Hotel Transylvania, and I told him I thought Miley Cyrus was first going to be Selena, or Selena's part, which we didn't even agree on that. So who knows if it's a lie. And then he said, I never actually got to do it with Selena. And they play boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife.
Right.
And I'm like, all 4 never? He's like, no.
Yeah.
We don't even do read-throughs anymore. You know, we used to do 1 read-through at the beginning and then
I just get pieces, right? I didn't
Yeah,
really know
yeah.
what I was
I
doing
would
or what
go-
the movie
yeah.
was. I didn't even know the
Same.
plot. Just start yelling.
people would be saddened to find that out. They're
I'm
like,
just a mad dog. I don't know, and that was it. And I see it at the premiere. I go, what?
I know. I mean, listen, it's great to do it. You know, especially you got kids and all. It's fun, but it's really creatively not that much fun to do them. You know, you can't move away from the microphone too much. You know, you're trying to animate.
yeah, you're trying to act.
I'm trying to be a mammoth sliding down an ice glacier. You know,
Mhm.
boom, and they go, Ray, you got to keep your head still. You know, you can't move.
Well, there's about 5 people behind a wall of glass. You're in a booth by yourself or a little studio.
Right.
And you just look up to, if you can see them kind of laughing, you can't hear them if they don't press a button. And you're kind of just in a vacuum thinking,
But
is this
also-
funny?
I would assume you could improvise a little, right?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't.
Yeah.
They really didn't.
Oh, really?
They didn't really encourage improvising.
Not too much. They'd let you
Yeah.
do it, but you knew later on they had they knew what the story was. You couldn't
Right,
go,
right.
oh, now I'm
They're
going to do
better
3
at it.
minutes. I kept trying to sneak in George Bush Sr. Not gonna do it. And they go, that's not even the show. But I go, but it's funny. But anyway, that's a whole other story.
Yeah, they go, Ray, you're sounding like more of a coyote than a mammoth. And you're like, no, that was my fault. I went into something else. And when I did Emperor's New Groove, we did a 1.5 year, stopped, redid the script. When I was going in, like Dana said, I was just getting pages. It turned into just you walk in and they're like, this is a scene. We're on a log and they give you as much as you can. You go, okay. And you do it.
Yeah.
And the magic of how good they are, I have to say, Hotel Transylvania, I would laugh. They were so cute and funny. And what they do with the animation and Emperor's New Groove, they make it so much better than it even seems when you're doing it.
Yeah.
You go, I don't really get what's going on. It's a little jumbled in my head of like, where were we and what are we? And then you see it and you go, oh, they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that would be it every time. They'd say, okay, Ray, you're running away from this guy and he's blah, blah, blah. And I go, okay, all right. I go, well, Ray, you're farther away than that. So, you know, we need
You're like, am I scared or am I happy? They're like, it doesn't matter. Just
But
run.
isn't it great when your animated character gets an incredible laugh, like lands a perfect pratfall, and you're like, yeah, thanks. You're taking high fives in the theater.
Yeah.
Woo!
well, that's what happened was like, I would get credit for an emotional part. There was an emotion, especially in Ice Age 1, I think there was a part where it was a little bit of a tearjerker, and it was the music and the way they animated my face. I wasn't even saying anything. And I would get credit as an actor for getting this emotion from these people. I'm like, all right, yeah.
I'll take it.
I remember when it played in another country, like the first time it played in Mexico. So they use a different actor. A different actor does the Spanish version.
Mhm.
So it's not me. It's not my face. It's animation. It's not my voice. And I remember my agent congratulating me on how well it's doing in Mexico. I'm like, all right. I don't know if I get that, but okay. I have nothing to do with it.
But they're like copying you. There's a German David Spade that does my stuff.
Oh, really? So, Schwarztiten, hey, buddies? Or what? I'm sorry.
Hey, buddy.
In German, Schlausweidend?
Gets all my nuances.
That's
he goes,
fake
there's
German.
no
Don't be
nuance in his
offended.
performance. All same performance.
Und Schwarzweiden.
Ein, zwei, drei.
Sorry, fake German. Are we going to get letters?
No,
I don't know what's
know
a
I know. I took
Yeah.
German in college because my
Really?
girlfriend. Yeah, because
Gesundheit.
the girl I was dating at the time spoke German. I thought, oh, she'll help me, and then we broke up, and I was stuck in a German class. Yeah.
How do you say yes? I have perfection. Yes, I have
No, I
protection
don't
in
know.
German.
No.
Here's all
Falls
I
no
remember.
baby on uns.
That's not how it works.
I remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
9.
Wait,
Yep.
and what does that mean?
That's 1 to
1, 6,
10.
2, 6. Yeah.
What?
7, 6.
That's counting 1 to 10 in German.
Yeah,
that's
Dana.
it. Oh, I thought it was some sort of pickup line.
No, and then Ich liebe dich is I love you.
Oh,
and
I love Dick.
yeah.
Jesus, that's a little on the edge. Ich
Guten
liebe
Tag,
dich.
Guten Tag is a good day.
What about
Uh-huh.
Hausaufgaben is homework? Hast du Bruder? Have you brothers? Nein, but Abracabra is Schwester.
Abracadabra
sisters.
is
Or
like
Abracadabra.
Once
handsome. I don't think that-
abracadabra. Hitler used to be a magician in the 1920s. He was a painter as well.
Abracadabra.
Once abracadabra. You don't know when the rabbit comes. Sorry. Sorry, Ray. Could we just for a second, just because you may have some impressions of Lorne Michaels, just going it, well, then we're going to move on to, because I think a big part of your legacy is this gigantic career you've had after your half-hour sitcom. But do you have any, like, were you just intimidated, or how did you just process being in the 17th floor with all the writers? You go into Lorne's office and he's talking to you. People have talked to that moment. I don't know if you have any thing.
Well, I didn't know how it worked. You know,
They point you where to go.
I was, very, of course, nervous. And the first day you go in the office, right? And again, this is 20. I haven't been on in 23 years, but all the writers come in and sit all over the office, all over the floor, right?
Yeah, it's just packed with people,
and they all pitch what they're thinking of.
You sit in the only good chair.
Right.
Next to Lorne.
And I didn't know till a couple of guys told me later, like, sometimes they don't have anything, so they just make up a pitch, right?
Fake pitches.
Yeah.
You're a caveman afraid of caves.
But you hear everything. You hear all these, I don't know, 30, 40 pitches of different scenes. And it's intimidating because you're like, one of them is, you're a Southern farmer, and you da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, I can't do a Southern farmer. I don't know.
You play a carrot stick. Okay.
Yeah.
I throw a bluff in, Ray. I always go, oh, Michael Keaton, can you do Russian accent?
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah. And I go, okay, for no reason.
Well, one of the pitches was, you're my grandfather, and you're this, and my knee-jerk reaction was, this is how stupid I was. I was like, wow, he thinks I look old enough to be his grandfather. I'm not really. This is freaking sketch comedy. They're going to make you look like however. Everybody plays everybody.
That's funny.
Yeah. But Lorne, afterwards, we discussed some of the stuff we heard, I guess. He was, I mean, he was, they treat the host really well, right?
Yes.
Because he defers to you. I mean, that's what it felt like. When we whittled down some of the sketches, he was really deferring to what I thought would work, and then of course he would put in his thing, and you are part of the process there, I guess as much as you want to be, right?
Yeah, it's something because you take his advice because he knows the show, but he also lets the host go, if you're not comfortable or if you don't.
And
like
he would do it like this: if everyone's talking, silence. Raymond, it's just that.
Yeah.
What are you sort of circling the wagons on what you might want to do?
Like he'd go, raise my grandpa. What did you think of that one? And you're like, I don't know. And he goes, is it because you have to wear gray hair in it?
Yeah.
No, I just didn't like the whole feel.
Do you want to do Mr. Short Shorts? You don't have to do Mr. Short Shorts.
Mr. Short Shorts.
I think it's a good visual piece. It doesn't matter, but if you don't want to do Mr. Short Shorts, you don't have to. And there's a song as well. And you'll dance around in little short shorts.
Yeah. Well, don't forget, we brought in like 3 sketches, and 2 of them got on.
That's a miracle because they don't like when you bring your Goomba writers in there. They go, here we go.
That's smart. They
get mad. All the writers go, hey, guess what? Next week, Ray's bringing writers, and everyone goes, boo.
But they were all, it was Higgins, right? It was Steve Higgins.
Producer, great guy.
And he was I guess he was the head writer then. And,
yeah, I think so.
And we got in there and we worked on these sketches that we brought, and he helped polish it up, and I mean, I can imagine, these guys, this is what they're living, is to write sketches for us. And I didn't even think of that. And here we are coming in with
Yeah,
sketches.
you took food out of their mouth, took it off their plate.
And then on the second time I did it, we came in again, and they didn't crush as much. Those sketches they came up a little short. The ones we brought in. Yeah.
By the way, Ray, I don't think I remember when hosts would bring writers. I think Jamie Foxx, maybe Martin Lawrence, when they would bring writers, it was very hard to make the transition because they weren't quite exactly right. Like the sketches were funny in a way, but you know how it is, Dana, like for what the stamp of everyone knows and read through sort of how everything works. Maybe there's too many sets in them. Or there's something weird about them. The point is they don't always get all the way to the end, even though I was kidding. Everyone's well-meaning. If it's funny, it's funny. Put it on. But I think you getting 2 on is, you say 2 the first time? Good. That's a lot.
Yeah, it was. And it was the first one and the second one. It was
oh, they kill. Yeah.
Sports Center and Benini were back to back.
Those sound great.
But listen, we weren't trying to step on anybody's toes. You're fine. Insecure. I was just saying, guys, come with me. We had Phil Rosenthal and 2 guys,
Yeah, the mafia. You're the mob.
No.
So Ray, because you don't wear your stardom on your sleeve, like I'm just interested in, like if you go drop into a club, maybe you're not doing much right now, but when you're getting ready for your special. And the MC's like, okay, fasten your comedy seatbelts because the next gentleman,
there he is.
Ray, and you got a little piece of paper, you're trying out jokes. Have you had that experience of the expectation of Ray Romano?
Yeah, I first, whenever I'm in the city, I go on. I go to the cellar. Whenever I'm in New York, I go on. And I was just in Atlanta. I was working in Atlanta, so I dropped in on the punchline, the Atlanta punchline. I don't know if you guys did that. I did it like 30 years ago. When I was just doing the road, I did a spot a week at the punchline.
We have a special guest.
But yeah, they pile it on. I've been not a fan of that since forever, even before I was the guy they were saying, before they would goose it up like crazy, and I'm like, just lower, let's come in with lower expectations and
I've done stand up with Ray. He always crushes. It's not even a joke. It always works. Obviously angered by it, but does a great job. Yeah, he does a great job. I did 5 years in Vegas with him, off and on.
But Dana filled in for you one week.
That's right, Dana.
David, I opened for Ray in.
No, we co-headline.
But the show starts at 10. And and then you do your set, and then whoever goes
you go
up,
on around 10:20,
and then you wait, and then you do a little shtick afterwards. I usually get up at 6, so it was a long day. But
same for David. David wasn't a fan of that either.
I stuck it out, and then because we were like, I think for a while, the trick in Vegas is they have a Boys to Men or someone does a full show before us. You want to take that?
No, I don't
they
know
do a full show.
It's Lorne Michaels. He has a live.
And then they let the audience out. Then it's cheaper just to go, we have the room. People in Vegas. It's 10 o'clock. Ray and Spade, they're just a stand-up. Just have a stool and a glass of water.
Yeah.
So they just said, let's see who can come in. So we do a big show. It was really fun. But I always thought, can they flip-flop us? I think the shows before us, I think it was Shimlim after us. They're just very family oriented, and ours are usually more adult.
Well, what's funny is the room we play, the Mirage, is really a great room.
Great room.
And we've been doing those shows at 10 o'clock for whatever, like you said, 5 years. I've been doing it longer than that. I was with Kevin James before you came. Yeah. And those shows are just killer shows. And then there was wasn't there one weekend where we had an 8 o'clock show?
8
and
or 9,
it was even better. It was even better.
It's such a great, fresh crowd. Because by the time we get off, it's almost midnight, and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And in Vegas, they've been going hard in Vegas, so they get tired, but listen, there was no complaint. But what we would do at the end was we would come out and do a Q&A. I know
it was fun. I like that. I always like that stuff.
Right. And then we needed to close the show So we would close with just a joke, right?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Right. So I remember when David started working there, I had to think we came up with a joke for you to say,
Yes,
right?
of course. I didn't have one. I go, we do a joke, and you go, well, here's one. You gave me a good joke to just say, you do one, then I'll do one.
Yeah, and you did it, and they're kind of dirty jokes, but whatever. Mm-hmm. And I remember Dave, and every time, we do the gig every 3 or 4 months or whatever, 2 months, and you come back and you'd kind of half forget the joke, but the joke was bomb-proof.
Bulletproof for sure.
Okay, one of you has to say it, because if I was listening to this podcast, I want to go, well, what was the joke? It's a little R-rated.
I'll
remember.
tell you, because every time I get it wrong, and I would look at Ray baffled, because the most
kill.
infuriating thing was, he goes, all right, let's just end with a joke. You got one? I go, yeah, I heard one from my roulette dealer. And I would say one, and then he would say one.
Okay.
And his, luckily, was so good, because he gives me one that works every time, and then I would just look at him, and he'd stare at me and go, you motherfucker, because I'm just mangling it, and no matter how you tell it, it would get a laugh, and I couldn't believe it, because I'd be a little buzzed, and I'd go blah blah, and I could see while I'm finding it while I tell it.
What
I go,
is it?
It's this. Okay, it's
ahead.
this
By the way,
couple's.
it's not that good. We've overhyped it. It's not that good.
Yeah, it's by the way, it's 5 sentences.
It's past midnight on the Strip in Vegas. Here comes David with his joke.
Oh yeah, Ray, I got one.
All right, here he is.
Okay, it's a couple's.
See, what's good is now you can't remember it now, which is exactly how you would do it then.
Exactly.
It's a perfect reenactment of you on stage. Go!
And then I would back out.
Yeah,
I back out.
Okay,
of it.
3, 2, 1. What's your joke?
It's a couple, but they are 90 years old. So it's their 60th anniversary. I'm just making up numbers. 60th anniversary, birthday. And so the guy, as a present, the woman says, I'm going to go wait in bed. I'm going to go get my present ready in the bathroom, and I'll be right out. So he lays in bed. She goes in there and strips totally naked except for a cape. And look at Ray's scared. He's already grinding his teeth going, okay, you're already a little off.
The crowd is restless. Land it.
Yeah. She comes out, leans at the foot of the bed and says, "Super pussy." And he goes, "I'll take the soup."
He got through it, Ray. Was that how?
By the way, first of all, Ray goes, you always run over super pussy, which is supposed to be a laugh. But I rush to get to "I'll take the soup," and that works enough.
Yes.
But there's two there.
He says super pussy, and that gets a laugh, but he never waits for the laugh. He steps on the laugh and goes, "I'll take the soup." And it kills anyway. Yeah.
So the proper way, because Ray would be super pussy and get all that laugh and then hit it. Get the double laugh.
The guy says, "I'll take the soup."
Yeah, you almost like wait, and then you go, "I'll take the soup."
Okay, because there's going to be people listening who are going to tell this joke at a cocktail party tomorrow
he's
night.
Thinking it over, and then he finally goes, "Nah, I'll take the soup." And then Ray tells a great one, but I won't give that away. But anyway, let's talk about his movie that I want to
observe one thing and quickly get to his movie, because that's something that he's going to love. We're going to say to him in a minute. I kind of feel like when I watch your stand-up, I go, honestly, I go, is this guy the best stand-up in the world? I mean, some of your stuff on YouTube and stuff, I'm like, it seems like it's almost overshadowed by how much stuff you've done in acting. But anyway, go see Ray as a stand-up. I sincerely wanted to say that. But something happened very strange last night. Here's a double whammy. So we get the screener of Somewhere in Queens. Well, I just got off the plane. We just came in. David and I just came in from D.C. We're really wiped out. So I start watching it. I'm cooking dinner. And I'm like, oh, no. Getting into it. Then I bring the laptop upstairs because I'm so jet-lagged. I go, I got to go to sleep. But I got so engaged with the movie, and I've never had this experience this much. Like, the movie is brilliant. I loved it. It completely captivated me. And as a baby boomer parent, it spoke to so many themes, because I don't want to give it away, but it's just the vicarious living of a parent and what you'll do. And I knew dads in the stands who had a superstar son. And it was sort of a miracle.
Yeah.
But anyway, honestly, with total sincerity, and David too had the same reaction.
We got back from that Mark Twain thing for Sandler, and we were like, I even said to Dana in Washington, I go, isn't there something we're going to watch from Ray? But I never got anything. And then we got home, And they go, oh, yeah, guys, here's a movie. And we're like, oh, shit. So I watched on my laptop last night. First of all, I thought it might be a comedy. Did you write and direct it, or did you direct it? Or
I co-wrote it and I directed it.
Oh, it's
you're heartbreaking
well done.
In it and funny.
It's heartbreaking. When you're talking to that girl in the car, first of all, the son's girlfriend, she was great. She's like a awesome Jennifer Lawrence. She really jumped off.
Everybody is
lights
great.
Up. Everyone's great.
I can't thank you guys enough for that. When we're off the air, I'm going to ask you if you really mean it.
No, we have
Ray. You know what we would say? We would say we didn't get a chance to see it. Would be the punt. I didn't get. The screener didn't play. Or we might say it sure really held my interest. It's just fun to be able to tell you. Maybe it's because we were jet lagged, but it has so many themes in it, and your character is so heartbreaking. Just being a father myself, and just the length a parent will go to for the love of a kid.
The story came out of nuggets of my real experience with my kid and my family, and my son was a basketball player. And he's 6'5", my son. Mm-hmm. So he was one of the star basketball players in high school. And I knew he wasn't going to play in college because he wasn't a guard. And at 6'5", you're a guard, And so when it ended, I was really feeling sad that I'm going to miss sharing this with my son. But if I'm being truthful, I live vicariously through him. I like the attention I was getting too. Which how pathetic. But if you think about how pathetic that is, I don't have enough. I'm in movies. I'm on TV,
but that whole world is so different, and it's so interesting. And you're not an athlete. I mean, you might be athletic, but you're not to this level of these guys, which I wouldn't be. And you sort of admire people that can do stuff you can't do, and it's your own kid. Right. And so you take responsibility. You're like, that's my guy out there.
You can't help your ego. Human ego gets intertwined, and the other parents want that have the bench sitter kid or the kid that barely plays, and they would sort of love to have that, and they're trying to get. It's a whole social dynamic with parenting. I mean, it's an amazing ego structure of look at my kid. I had one in junior. It was a CYO basketball. So there's the kid who's like 6'2" in 8th grade. So I'm sitting next to his dad. He's getting all the rebounds. And he goes, look at my kid get all those rebounds. I go, well, he is a lot taller than everyone else. He goes, that has nothing to do with it. He just wants to get the ball. Nothing to do with it. My son's 4'11". Are you kidding me?
I know.
So
and well, that was the germ of the idea for the story was when I felt that emptiness, I just thought, I at least have other areas where, my life will be full. But what if it was this poor schlub guy who had nothing else but this, who felt invisible in his real life, and his son brought this out.
But it's a smart way to do it. No, the things that happen, I don't see coming. Your wife in it did not know who that was. Took me forever because she does such a disappearing act.
Laurie
Metcalf is so well. Obviously, she's incredible. You both were great together. Yeah. I don't want to give it away, but there is a scene that you captured the tension of someone being busted, and the way that whole scene built, and the way you landed it. You just felt viscerally, shame for your character. So it's like not easy to do. It's not an easy thing to land in a movie.
I'm glad you guys feel that way, man. That makes me feel good.
I'm telling you, I was bawling out of the blue.
Spade was crying.
Wanting it to be like, because it's funny moments, because you're a funny guy, but when you weave in, which is very tricky, a real situation where you're not trying to do like, I'm going to do a joke now. It's just the way people talk, and then someone's being kind of funny just because that's the way you talk. When the girl comes over and someone goes, she's so nice. And she goes, I do not fucking like her. It just comes, those things come out of the blue. That might not be a great example, but you just do funny things.
Well, you're talking about the Italian, my wife, who's, what I wanted to do was take this story which will be universal. I'm glad you identify.
I believe so.
Relate to it.
Yes.
But put it in this specific universe which I lived in. I grew up Italian in Queens, but my wife, I married into that world that we see in the movie. You know, the traditional people, the right off the boat people, you know, everything with all the traditions and the parties and the you know, all the food and everything. And I said, let's just do this story and make it specific, but it's kind of like the formula that worked for Everybody Loves Raymond. We made it specific, but it was identified. When it comes to family, everybody kind of identifies with it, no matter where you're from. You know?
Yeah, it wasn't I'm not Italian. I'm not from Queens. I was just relating to different things, even heartbreaking stuff with relationships and dating. And there's a lot going on where you go, oh, God damn. Yeah, it's funny, and then they catch you off guard again.
And just the one character, which the casting of your son he was amazing too, and just had such. Well,
I can't tell you how hard it was to find a kid who can.
Sure.
You know, he doesn't. The kid's an introvert, you know, so he has to emote without saying a lot, and so he has to be a pretty good actor and also a good basketball player. It was so hard to find a guy.
Of course, he was shooting threes and.
Oh yeah, he's a good player, and we would get a list of guys. We would look at all of them, and we would narrow it down, and then we would say, "Put yourself on tape playing basketball for 5 minutes," because they all said they could play, and within 10 seconds, you could see this guy never.
It's all edited
basketball.
Together.
Yeah, but this kid was driving Postmates when we gave him the role. He was just, you know, he just had college films that he did. He's a great kid too, you know. So I'm happy for him. Yeah.
You touched on so many just experiential things that were just like I knew a guy. I don't want to give names away, but like his first love, he's 20, and he basically told me that he'd said to her, "I'll love you no matter what, forever," or something to that effect. And then she was having sex with his best friend the next day or something. It was like
he said he said.
I love you forever.
Yeah, too early.
Too early. And it's like, there's a lot of stuff in your movie that.
But she was like, "Oh, I'm covered. Even though I'm going to have sex with your friend, you're still loving me, right?" That was the deal.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well,
I'll love you forever, no matter what." You know, on the second date or something. It's like, you know.
Oh, believe me, I used to pour my heart out to these girls. But I can see writing wise, because I've tried to write movies. The fact that you're wrapping up every story is very hard to do. I mean, everything sort of just falls into place all the way to the very end.
Yeah. And sometimes we thought we don't need to wrap up everything, you know. But no, but it's true. But
they're all very nice. I liked them all.
And I love Sebastian in the movie too. He's just a great tough brother. Can I ask you a question? Just popped in my head. When did you know your wife was the one, so to speak? Was that a long courtship, or you were thinking marriage pretty quickly?
We worked in a bank together, my wife and I.
That. Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, she was the third woman I asked out in the bank. The first
2 security guards first.
Wow.
Yeah, the first 2 turned me down. And
did she know?
I think she knew, you know, that I was interested in this other girl first. And then it was when I quit the bank that we started dating, you know, but you know, I had nothing, man. I was living at home. I give her credit because I wasn't a catch, really, you know. I was driving my bike to work and all, and she took a shot, and now she's house shopping every 3 months. You know?
What is interesting, pre-money, pre-fame, living at home, working in a bank, and so there's some nice stuff about that, you know. But
it wasn't love at first sight, you know. I'm not going to say that, but
hi, honey.
No, but it was
like me and Dana.
It was like it's kind of like getting fired from news radio, you know. It was it was
It works out.
It worked out. Yeah, I mean, it was my life would be very different if it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I sort of like that little Jennifer Esposito. She did a nice
Yes,
job.
I did a
with that.
movie with her once, Master of Disguise. I thought she was also.
Oh yeah, she was
perfect in
really
their
good
film.
with that little bit she did.
Yep, and
Yeah.
she really. I didn't know what was going on with that, but I just like
Yeah.
the tough dad. Everyone knows a tough dad, and that's just the way they are. And you being a full grown adult with a tough dad is hard to sit there and eat it all the time.
Yeah.
Have you guys directed anything ever?
No, I haven't.
Man, it scared the hell out of me. Man. I
Oh.
can't tell you how frightening it was leading up to it. I wasn't gonna direct it, but my agent told me, it's too personal. Get in there and do it. And I was
There's
like,
another 10 grand in it for you.
another union. It's another union.
Yeah.
You're in another union all of a sudden.
Dental.
But I
So that's your first directing job. Okay.
Yeah. I hadn't directed any Raymonds. I hadn't directed anything. And I've been in the edit room for the last 25 years. I've been writing and kind of directing. With Raymond, you're directing, even though you're not directing.
Yeah.
But I know nothing about the technical side of it. I didn't know one lens from another. I knew what I wanted to see, what I wanted it to look like. So he just convinced me, surround yourself with the great cinematographer who can collaborate with you and just pay attention to what you want on the screen. And I mean, it was so nerve-wracking though before it started. Once it started, it was all good,
But I do think the writer, and it's so personal, it's great that you were completely in charge. You would have been de facto in charge, even if you're not taking the credit.
I'm glad he made me. I'm glad he made me do it, because now having done it, I would do it again. If it's something, the weird thing is I got offers to direct now, and the movie hasn't even come out, and people heard I directed. So I got a couple little offers to direct these other things. But I had no desire if it wasn't something I wrote,
Or something you really have your heart.
Yeah, if something I was super passionate about, maybe, but I think I would do it again. If I write something again, I would try it again,
And you have to demand the DP from Corky Romano that you got. Give me the best of the best.
Is that true? Was he on Corky Romano? Oh.
No, I just trying to think
that's
of a
funny
movie.
name. It was a Chris Kattan comedy.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah, but it's a funny word package.
Sounds
Corky
funny.
Romano. It's a great name of a human being.
Can I tell you of my SNL experience? I loved every second of it. And Sports Center is the one that stands out.
Right.
But if I have to be honest and pick my favorite sketch, it was the one Chris Kattan when he was the lounge. You guys may not.
He was the singer.
He was the lounge guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he brought up me. I was like a Shecky Green has-been comic, and it was so much fun. Yeah, that was my favorite sketch. I think of the two times. I think.
Well, he does great on the show. It's great. That was fun. I mean.
Yeah.
I like seeing you out there, and there's one called The Big Baby. Well, I think people will look you up. That's fun when we have someone on the podcast. People go and look up sketches.
Just look up Ray Romano.
The Big Baby was Will Ferrell. Yeah,
Will
Ferrell.
Yeah.
Did you overlap with Kattan, with Chris Kattan?
I did a little with Kattan, 1 year with Ferrell, and the cheerleaders and that, and then I was on my way out. But I could tell, I was like, it's time to go, and there's good people here. Yeah. It's in good hands.
How many years did you do? How many years you do?
I did 6. Dana did 7.
7. And I've hosted 3. David's hosted a couple times.
Twice.
Yeah. Each one's different.
When was the last time you hosted, Dana?
I think it was like 2011 or something. I found it the last time just so it's really exhausting when you're a cast member and there's 2 sketches. You can really focus. I too much of a control freak, but there's also a whimsy to how the show unfolds, unless you try to write it ahead of time, which isn't, I think for me, it's like, then I've been there doing guest spots. I'm on Fallon and Lauren will just walk down on a Thursday. You'll do church chat this week. I got a flight out tomorrow. You'll be doing church chat. It's that thing of like Ted Cruz and all that. So I've gone back and done those guest spots, which are really fun. And I love doing Wayne's World on the 40th. Yeah. I love playing that character at 60.
Did you go to the 40th, Ray?
No, I didn't. I went to the 25th with Peter Boyle.
Tight list.
I remember with Peter Boyle. When's the next one, man? What are they coming up?
3
on,
years
man?
will be the 50th. So,
Oh, fuck, I
do you
I
want
wanna go.
2 for
Yeah,
Do you
give
want
me
us to
two.
talk to
Ray plus,
anybody?
Ray plus 1? Let's
Hey.
see. Go ahead.
Dana, do your kids do stand up still? Are they still doing it?
Now we have a production company. We're making content. We
okay.
finished a scripted. Stand up
Huh.
has to be, well, it's just rough out there now.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
heartbreaking to see that it's either opening for me where the audience is so jacked up, or it's an open mic where, because I suffered so much in bad open mics, and it wasn't my fault. They're having dinner or
Yeah, of
heckling,
course,
a bar,
Yeah.
But now doing content is more specific, more connected. Like, we're going to do this
More
thing.
fun,
It's not
yeah.
ethereal. And basically stand up in the end of the day is traveling. If it's really your job, it's about traveling. I didn't watch, Jackie Gleason or Carol Burnett in the 60s and I want to do that, but I didn't think that would mean we're gonna push back from the gate in a few minutes. But right now we have some maintenance guys coming on board. So the travel part of it is the part I don't like.
Yeah.
But the
my
gig is
son
fun.
tried it. My one son, one of my twin boys, did a little road. He went to Albuquerque. He went to Denver and did these one-nighters. He did like 5 of them, and that was his only taste of it. And he got depressed that he was at a bar where they weren't even facing him, and he was getting upset that he was. What if I'm not funny? I'm like, you can't tell you're not if you're funny or not from that. It's. By the way, you got to do that. That's the sad part about stand-up. In the beginning,
Years.
you got to muscle through all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I went to a lot of open mics, and most open micers, the audience, even if the audience is pretty good, the reason they're not doing well is because the audience doesn't get what they're talking about. Like they don't set it up properly. Like clarity, without clarity, which you learn over time. But anyway, they had nights where they would crush, but it still has to be a specific passion. And the stuff we're doing now, they're enjoying more.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Also, stand-up sometimes leads to doing content. They're sort of just going, let's get to the part where we make stuff.
It teaches you
We
a
can
lot
boost it.
to trust your blink. And that in the end of the day, the sensibility, if it's similar in a room, it's so much more pleasant. Like at SNL, there was a very narrow sensibility. And so when something worked, everyone all knew it, sitting around the writer's room. Oh, that'll work. That'll kill.
Right.
But, anyway, it's been a good life. David has
good luck with the movie, Ray.
Thank you, man. April 21.
Somewhere in Queens, and it's in theaters? Or is
April 21, it goes into theaters.
Somewhere in Queens. I highly recommend it. I really do. I think it touches a lot of stuff. It lands beautifully. Movies just don't work that much. I mean, The Big Sick was another one of those kind of indie films that was sort of, or small, that this is in that league, if not better, or what touched me more because it was so specific to my
me too.
Well,
Me
thank
too.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
Great.
you. And I'll see you. Will I see you in Vegas, David? Where are you going?
I'll be over at the Venetian with Nikki Glazer, but I'll yell over because
Son of a bitch.
I know, but it's 8:30.
I'm playing. I'm headlining the Mirage. I guess you're out of town on.
When?
Oh God, I hope it's right.
You're going to do it? Oh,
July 7th
Mirage
or
is
8th
fun.
or 14th or 15th. Yeah, in July.
Well, I'm there. You know who took your place, David? Right? Is
No.
Brian Regan.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
That
Brian
guy
Regan.
is a monster.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
I don't have time to be opening jars and stuff. Can't do it. But I love that guy.
That's it.
Yeah.
Walk him through the joke. Give him super pussy.
Yeah.
We loved it, Ray, and we hope to see you around campus and here, there, and everywhere.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah.
Fix it in post.
Fix it.
Fix it up.
It's right. It's baked. It's ready to go. Okay. Thanks, buddy. Take care. Thanks for being on.